Abuja TV XYZ today and a face of Power 97.9. Free Sabre Kosi Nondu, Dwaboase Jumadi and ye. Chuba wa video the Babia will be a Chabia. Yadi Common Cassia Basho, the real Common Cassia, Wild in Sabudia Muslim, Ababa, Roger Emmanuel, the sports monarch, one in the Dromoma Cado. The real Gudia Musama, your boy Tonto Sansana, your father Ignatius will fear say. Said now you have fear the ya and that Roma are softened penny for a TC Monteso, yetre. I am pie boy yetre. Yet nam crum, na ya bomb pie, na ya tintas coco, and ya cho on my moon penny for dangerous players. And some are no my treachery, and your good tabo no swallow. I am some could echo. Say on mine that inti and then I suffer no markets here and a piaba bontio and nobody had the there too on my moon penny for and he will say, what one among forget and say no. Yes, you are say, yes, assassin say, you're crying in a cock. Yes, running in a yes, running in a cock. And a father Ignatius was a Samson Gubia, a Bakacha Mansai, Wabra Yebo, Tonto Sansan of Place, with Dwaboase or Power 97.9. But Sabre, Yansapa, Yadi 2-3 minutes, Faku Quadrona Tewate, no crack for Yami. Said yes, it's in Asamidi. I watch you my pass and all. What the other query your pa? Oh, yeah. And at the Chief Apostle Joseph A. Jackson Boye, Eddie and him no. Okay, 1 John chapter 4, verse 18, I was saying, there is no fear in love, but perfect love drives out fear, because fear has to do with punishment. The one who fears is not made perfect in love. Opeso do twan hushia, opeso do crow, opeso odo ugina odo so, ema empeja ba wo wabra bomu a. Eni se ehu enya tena bre awo wabra bomu. Ehu ka wo nipa hye. Ehu ntimi ma wonko wanim. On enam ehu nti on ba bia Ghana wo. Amafo suro na me nkoka. Mekoka ye betamani. Mekoka ye beyimadi. Mekoka amafo betata me. Ehu nti ya soso aban yi so am na yensem wadi nsemu na abesi sabre yi. Enam ehu nti on said yes ejeja ye ho amaye mai eguso a essay. Say ye ehu free ye mu a odo beda ni wedi. Odo ne de yen. E de na odo de ba. Odo de nkoso ba. Odo de mpaja ba. Odo de mpuntuo ba. Ehu nti on ba bi o man na godu. And I am quoting a year deputy governor, Emma Bank of Ghana. No me kind story be on my joy online. On my coming here, said your minor AC corner said, yeah, I was here 2 years hopeful. I was said, yes, bobo, baby. My goodness, our God is good. We are the first governor of the Bank of Ghana, Dr. Maxwell Opoku Aferi. What kind of story now on my joy online was say? Dr. Maxwell Opoku Aferi has called for policies to stimulate savings and investment in the economy, describing borrowing as an unsustainable way of development. Sabusiabo bebrebe ye gina so say ye the 2-year mining power enkwa ye ensi ye. Na munyina na monte ho e na ba we ba busia bebrebe e dia bedu ba bia ye dream as I say IMF abrofo no amanonefo no broni kwakọ no wadi dia wie no pro wa no e na say ye fom ho busia bo bebrebe nti ya local my Ghana out of the capital market ye kwadwa man so ayese ye mfi ye bio enam ya busia bo bebrebe ehunti munyina motete ho busia bo bebrebe we kwaso mantima nka ho asem afi ade na ji aguo no afi na mo ba abonte abekasa shame on all of you eti twa kronkron na asem na me confirm no ye nyina ye beto confirm e wo ya brabo mu ehu ya kwansidie ehu ma no ma nkwaso ehu mfa enkanko emma ehu mfa empuntuo ma basi eyi ehu free wa odo bedan ni wadi. Oh yes. Checheni a wutie me. Uwa kwenya wo mranim so betima ba bonte betre wa dwen. Ade afa enoma ekoso as far as free SHS is concerned. But the hunti osroso beba ena me ba ne yimade e. Ana Kwame Nkrumah no onim se enoma na wo ye no ye betimi de na kwa afiase. Wo ye ye me de ne kwa afiase. Wo da afiase ye to ne so ba ema ne di nkunim. Ada asrafo na omukọ gina eye Christian Bosak ayi castle ana omupo marketia no ene nuoma bia na ekoso na broni kwakwade ye echiwade ayakayaka de ana broni kwakwade ye no sabre no munim se tuotuo bi ebetu akoso ama omu bi ahwe mo nkwa eso bu sinkete etu wana mo agreementi ene edru ye so no ehunti yentimi hwa danfo anim enka je danfo se wodi o man ne bone philosopher o ka bi wotimi hwa danfo anim enka je danfo se mo se man no media mabuno no kra ya na metete se ebi mu ka se ena media mentu aba media bato media mentu bi ena amanyofo no mo nyina ya pe research be na ye emre bi ba John Mahama. In fact, in your 4 years in Pono, because half of the year, now you're in a court, a manso, and your father to a Zeus as one, a buy and would do could you know. As what we did some 3 and some months be at the end, put to you my my Ghana. When your mind is sicker, what your mind is sicker, yeah, no man can see, and they get this one fast walk. About when you're 8 good years. Obi makanche me dia na ba we dia e atuturasam ewukasam enkanche sikadie basa sikaseye na akoso another pagana ni awutie me se mama ehu embesi ukwan nyakokodro wo nyame mu se woni se dia wo kan ye nokura wo hwa wachi Sanim said ya wakano a factor. One shawati. It is a factor of mine. Ya boka dia 2 years 3 so. It is a factor of mine. Ya babusia bebrebe ama e kamini ye. It is a factor of mine. Ya busia bebrebe ninti. And I had the Aquarius so. It is a factor of mine. And no man boy ya den. And a yes sikasam and to your bonia. And cause wa ye memua. Say what can we because when you say what kind of crano, which is no craft for wounds row, a tenant in a mumubi slow, I didn't a mumubi, a who a kamashe. Sabra when it bright, you hear a mamba papa. This is the time we need patriots. Sabra ya kwa tuaba, and you hear Ghana for Mudino Crati, Mokano crack, I bet no crano so, at a man for pea quine. Wa baby omoto ma bakwa e be dia boye nyina entra manhwa baby nka se me dia minim no kura no me dia sabe ho obu a wonte no kura ne da sa bra wani bra wo se wo ka no kura ne kire no de me kan woni me ya adwa fra me wo fra me kura fa bi ka ho ensema me kan wo fra me afa bi ka ho baby phone lines ya kwama kase na anie 0208984166 and 050000257. Reverend Shadi Henson, baby, will be a match. Apostle Walanyo Kofi Agbo. Good morning to you and your beautiful Mama Perfect. Apostle General Sam Cranchankra, baby, will be a match. Chief Apostle match, baby, will be a first caller. Mama, me kwano so na me ni new kobo. Hello, morning. We need a baby of free. Hello, morning. Hello, morning. What do you mean, Kabodina, baby? I'm free.
Good morning, Ilya. Good morning.
Me don't kapa. Bodina, baby, I'm free.
Hello, good morning.
Yeah, don't go. Udina, baby, I'm free. I'm sorry, you're crowd. When you're ready, you're good. You must say, wait, and come on, Cassia, brain, your philosopher. Stay focused. 020-898-4166 and 050-000-0257. Next caller. Hello, morning. Hello, morning, no. Yeah. Mama come who be you? Branian Soja, ni mom. Mr. Deputy Governor of the Bank of Ghana, no. Medini hu yaw sa. Etisanim dia we na wo mutrim. And I feign a wo ba beka. Was it the first governor of the Bank of Ghana, Dr. Maxwell Opoku-Afare, has called for policies to stimulate savings and investment in the economy, describing borrowing as an unsustainable way of development. Ebrana Mahama Bobo for 2 hours, Sana Mumu biti opposition. I can't some ton of so. Mumu biti opposition. Inside Ghana for. Mumu biti opposition. Inside Ghana for against John Mahama. Cover the buyer for 2 bobo 2 no. I don't know about you, my. I'm a cocola no. Hello, morning. We didn't have a bit of free. Hello. Tia me free telephone no so why? We didn't end up a bit of free.
Hello.
Meton come. We didn't have a bit of free.
Good morning.
Morning no kente no ho why now Bema. We didn't have a bit of free. Ada wo the phone na kosie na akasa na.
Mama fine kasa singe gwa.
Yetio koso. Yetio. Meaning say Mama Minkah say we chamo. Some free radio no so mama demonstrating chamo. O free radio no so ahụ. Tie ye every wo phone no so. Wo ka say wo tie TV na ebe delay wo tie wo phone no so a ebe call your send be yankomo no ebe call so kama why? Yanko the next caller. Hello morning. Kafra mahrew e wa homa no so. Eche bia dia gudie mo nsemo bramo. Edia na ya na mpempi na be ya kwansidi a ema mumu bi nka no kre. Na no mete se nsentweni baabi. Wakogina baabi na Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia na hihye na wode opeso ogina so e de kutia gadanse no hihye papa. Hey! Na Bawumia nyo na ya Vice President of the Republic of Ghana. Eto on hihye papa bia yetimi gina so de kutia gadanse a. Ede en wo twen. Anenti no wan nane na futuo emfa mama mpanyi na nado danko akufuado. Ma ye nyina so mfa nto akwa mu. Sede be ya Yesu na ani ahono no etu betwa. Oza ala cash out journalism na ekokọ kwoso no. Omi enka ni pain ala cash out journalism na ekokọ kwoso no. Eno na say mine no. Akwajo kakra. We are na be gira ba bi no aka because we gidi say amanfo bebre e wo gidi e wo mu. And the MPP have become so desperate for endorsement that in the coming days, watch out. In the coming days, watch out. Ekophobia mo babe bonten say omo kasa dia fa Bawumia ho di ne one dance here. Besi san kofo no eye ti omo kasa ni ye. Wuti afa kwa dwindwi mo. Wo wi anu pense mu. Afa wo wi a bise omo nsam. Sese dia mini aba mi bisa ne nsam yi. Wasi Bawumia na adwen a wo kire enhyehyɛ bi a owo e de ku ati agadam say no. Esu bi mada enhyehyɛ papa e bebo o man no. So the question to ask her is this: say she say, Papa, I didn't about me a cane. I brasso Monkafra Fono, Eddie Hamo, a brasso say, Eddie Agudium Samba Bramo, Roger Emmanuel, the sports monarch, or better than I say, a bon on cra, Yani and Yaba Shamima Muslim, the bidding come on. Masabre, the Agudium Samba Nide. Father Ignatius Susu of Yase, and I am in the bottom to Zanzai. Father Roger Emmanuel, the sports monarch, that is out of pay. When your father, when you're Jan, we are Jameboa, father of many, one bad dorsal. Father. Daibo.
Se bi bia come there. Wow ni mo hu dada. Se bi we se bi we ni se bi fi.
Was it be the most say. That you accept okay. Roger dia da cause good you will say.
Come in 70 doors na no pay ya tena say mo bi bia good morning. Emma bi bia chi and na no pay na so say tena say na agudon some kakra bobo so na no pay ya tena say na fading some nyina e di eba na mo channel so say nyame ya duma e da o chena 1 p.m. Ghana time. Blasters and Sultan Airport our Libya na sa game na nyame ya duma power 97.9 FM ya the live commentary ebe bro na on say na nema esite sanse Ghana de na course so live commentary no ya da ho some eba ya Ghana and Sultan ya bia ntimi anhye meti nyame ya duma o chena nyumakuo ebe boa na for live commentary no ya de ahon some ede bro na Mary Moses Clinic and Herbal Center wonum ebe so ya sena fe commentary na ede ho some ede apa na Mary Moses se bani se prostate ena ete so pa se ya de pa ena etete odi a bia ba ko pe ena wo se wodi wani kire eno ane se Mary Moses o ma so ye ena ewo se wodi wani ensi kire na fe wo mo etimi ebo yie pa esan se prostate disorder ena fi pema wa ujitum sampa odo e brother ojima ye ensuani ewo mpem na fe sexual weakness eti so eno echi wo yo ba be ma opa wo wa pra unya bia bomodi se obekọ Mary Moses o ma so ye eno echi se wo sciatica problems typhoid eti and afi ba se malaria krade eno no motinite and afi stroke nse ewo so a bomodi se oni Mary Moses e be din komo na afi omo etimi abo ye pa STI and afi dental problems ase hu ha nyina so ewo se Mary Moses aso ye and ewo se odi wani su kire nei edruba komodi aba ebo ankrofo ye pa eye new Mary Moses garlic capsules edrua garlic ewom adede etu ase ntetempa enti eno ane se owremu o Mary Moses aso ye na wakwakoje ayarehwe enwechi so edro no se opebia to a chemical shop herbal shop bia so owremu so Mary Moses wom endro no so benye bia to na eno etimi abaw ye pa o maso ye ewo adenta barrier o mo police station no na edin hwe no mo penwachi Accra Ministries ehon so kwa wom ene Ghana Highway Authority yard mu a na obehu wom na fe ko ahyama na wom ewa Jekojo omoni school for the deaf na edin hwe no mo pen na fe Kumasi ahene makokopin ho na Mary Moses wono aso enso wonti enu ane se o frɛ doctor ewo 0244 068 447 0244 068 447 na eni Mary Moses edin komo na omaje osu abo serebe ya wapomudin so ebetimi akon enke hola Sevia Herbal Clinic enso ebo ase nyame ya duma ochina Ghana Sultan live commentary yede ho sem epa wasemi nkancho se yade bia eti usu bia no eno ane se wodi wani ekire mo wo maso ye omo wa shama omo ni Access Bank no na edin hwe no mo pe eye swelling leg problem ana say breast lump and face stroke eti so diabetes eti and what you kidney problem waist space and a asthma eti so cocos eti unya and epilepsy treya de pa and no say ewo abusie ni biso a bomodi say obekọ doctor nche na fe wabo ye pa owo hola Sevia Herbal Clinic nei or the hola herbal mission edi abedwa so a eno ebo ye pa yade bia wo video no bia no eboa eti ne tem eye no so edi fio so edi mountain no ani say oni doctor Koku Olympia Gomado wono eyo panipa doctor kese pa ahola Sevia Herbal Clinic otano ene ni nkomo ewo 0240409991 0240409991 we eye nyuma kumienu a ono mo boa na fe nyame ya duma ochena Ghana against Sultan yadi live commentary as ebetimin as edi abromidin edi Roger Imano from the sports monarchy botela and afi kojo for some teche emanano pe Messi enkonya mede and seven ebronsa say from Blasters camp na fe yehwe seven ekosemino kase Blaster team no omo attach down ewo Libya nyame ya duma eda ochena ena Ghana yene Sultan edi ewidas away ey AFCON qualifier eno ebaso na onim say dano ebetu just yawada Ghana yene Sultan edi so ewa cross post my pan bi no na senya dia obia etimi dinkunim ewa sa game a eno etimi course na ohwe say after sa game no ban bi no ensempi ena na ekoso dodo na kan sema hodo e de fa se game kura course no na supporters no fiso anye kura the chances a Ghana e create no aka yetimi enya 3 points no na fa yetimi bo asere be aka Ghana nyema ebetimi akoide manum esanse Ghana entimi anikunu e sa game a eno e course dano ya wara e Accra Sports no metere no obo e menede Sultan for no ono anya advantage ye pa eti se de omo awiata se kwan bia so ankunum die ebekọ e de amawasanse se omo aba Ghana ha ene e abakutipanku dia ene no our chance say kwan biase no nyoma be de ebetimi akoyie e de amam sere be yankunimdie so ebetimi so aye ono mo edia na me do ka say the blaster players no nyina so anya attach down our Libya ono mo ehwe se nyoma ebetimi akokanja me yatuma ene blasters ebe yom mandatory training our stadium agim no ebetimi abase nwechi Sudan for no so ebetrain na blasters na ebedi kan atraining asana nwechi no Sudan for no etimi atraining na yahwe se na nyoma so ebetimi akọ na oda woni echiremu dia say Ghana group essence Angola etimi ehye Niger kamienu a nyoma entimi ankoye afama Niger for no say ade Niger for no wo say ohwe group no mo ene dato na mom Angola for ekuta 9 maximum point a di lead table na fe Sudan so ekuta 4 point at so no so edi atosimi na fi Ghana so etosimi sa ya just 2 point a ya di atosimi sa our group no Niger our just 1 point so edi atosimi akomako 9 our next Ghana ye table no se na nyoma so sitentene ohwe Gabon eda Ghana na fi Angola entema ye 7 point different na eda Ghana na fi Angola entema Angola for dey isero mo de anya qualifier ono mo eko mo anima na say aka timba kwa ono se betimi abeka wa se Ghana pribia say ye no Sudan for no nyama ebetimi akoyere ma na nyina chino coach Otuado de atuja se on de wagide mapa awoni players no me se kwambia so owrem awa Libya no obetimi akona fe ono se akwakohye Sudan for no na Blasters head coach ebrebia chemu na ono ana e coach Erima Ghana nei oye coach Erima Sudan national team e coach James Mayele akwesi apia ana odi se makra atuja so Ghana de na course de na a difficult match de na mo draw mo nyare mo de mo nia so yepa na wogide se otenefie a host Ghana de kwan bia so 3 point ebeko ediama Sutama na yente Blasters former coach and they were coach Erima Sudan Urakwesi apia.
Yeah, yesterday Sudan we played against Ghana. It was a difficult game, but we managed to fight and get a draw. We are now going to play the return leg in Benghazi. It's not going to be easy, but inshallah, we're going to fight and make sure we get a victory.
Okay, nti anu yesema na se ura enu akwesi apia ono ye coach Erima Sudan national team na aboti se odi sasem na to anu are uhwemo AFCON qualify match ba kwatuja ema Burundi etena ma Burkina Faso ekobo ne kamienu a na se Burundi omo eti ekano ba kuntiwe eye nu a game course nyame adoma ene matches ne beto asena fi ochena ade AFCON qualify na eto ase matches a nyame adoma ene eba senete ade Kenya betene fi na omo ni Cameroon ade awida se nwachi Gambia betene fi no Madagascar ense ebe hye na Togo asini Algeria ebesha Zimbabwe as any of my friend Namibia as Asian of Liberia as Etilefi ni Equatorial Guinea aribasha sunafi Eswatini Swaziland ebetini nafi omone Mozambique nso edi awidas we ya matisa nyame ya duma AFCON qualifier eno ebase ne hunsem na yedi atuja so ewo jumadie no so eno no nyame ya duma ochena games no ebase no sei na ete Malawi betini fi ane Senegal ebebo Tanzania asini DR Congo beshia na fi South Sudan and Uganda ebeshia Chad nso and Zambia edi be widas na fi Lesotho asini Gabon ebebo Guinea asini Mali ebeshia Congo and South Africa ebebo Sierra Leone asini Ivory Coast ebeshia Niger and Angola ebebo na fi Rwanda as any Benin so ebetimi so edi ahye suntiwe eye nsema no efioroma eno abetuja fan matcha eno ebetimi so abaso fan AFCON no na se qualify na honsem so eno no yefio ya yemfa ni enchiremo semufruma ye bawremu awa Ghana Premier League no na fi ahwe matcha hodo a na uche wie eno so etimi eba so na ehyiase Friday na fi Saturday na games ne etimi ehyiase na odan woni echirem dia na tise club a ye fan se Accra Lions ometine fie ani brekum Chelsea match no eno ekoye 1-1 eno echine Heart of Lion so etire fie Vision FC eno se ekoye 0-0 na awose Legon City na wose omni Asante Kotoko ebo na Asante Kotoko ewremu ewo US international match no eno entimi amaso na odan woni chiremo no games a eno ekosa Young Apostle etine fie ema House of Folk ekohye kamienu ema Young Apostle kano omo eti kanbako na Young Apostle hwe gu omo hye ya na efeye papa na tese acrobatic kick at sabrant no go hye no na efeye pa scissor kick na satena de atena kasana eyego na efeye papa na enye asem kitokra eno achi oda won chiremu ewo other games kosa Between United so ehye kamienu ema Mediama Sport Sporting Club and so Intimate Jana Stars SC Kamienwa Dreams FC and so Intimi Antina Nation FC and so any baby Gold Stars and also ending 1-1 and afi Baseki Holy Stars SC Kabakwa Kalela United and so Intimi so Antintiwe a matcha a pass in our Chevi our Ghana Premier League and also Timikos in the room our table now they say club by baby Gold Stars one and Ababeda topper 12 point and Ekuta baby Gold Stars Asantiko the Como matcha one ever bombs and a Tosimianoa almost an Ekuta 11 point in your Tosimiansa a Midjama Sporting Club our 11 point in a Finio Tosinai a Brekum Chelsea and so our 10 point in a Nation FC and so a Tosi Enuma almost Ediswa almost Ekuta 10 point in a fee Nyotos in Sia a Vision FC our 9 point out there Tosin Sia and so a Heart of Lions almost Ekuta a 8 point and a Finio Tosin a House of Fuka almost no Ekuta 8 pointer almost Eddie Atosin or Chenafi Nyotosi and Crom a Betchum United almost our 9 point in Shorteman Etosima Kumakutu our 7 point in a fee Nyotosi Dubaku a Samatesa almost no Etosi Dubakwa almost our 7 point in a fee Baseki Holy Stars almost Dumiano our 7 point in Nyotosu a Dumian Sam a Jana Stars almost our 6 point in a fee Kalela United Tosu Dunai our 5 point our yes so down it Kalela our 5 point in a fee Nyotosu Dunum a club Yafana Akala Somosono our 5 point in a fee Young Apostles and say Etosi Jinsiam our 5 point Dreams FC Etosi Edu and Son our 3 point in a fee Legon Cities at the Asionoma our just 1 pointer the Atosi Edumoche our Ghana Premier League table no so Nyami Atuma Enra na our say game team Ebasuno na a club by friend says Samates one more any on the tip and 5 friends Ratreman game no and Timmy and Manu say Nra and so can see a toy our Samuel Buentino game no and Timmy and Manu and Perfodia Tuja say Nyami Atuma and ano pay 10:30 a.m. yano sa game no ebesa so abaso na fi minute dudu aka wo no empedefo abehwe se ombetimi abona fi nyama se etimi akoyentwe eye ne fi ono ma no so etimi ababeti yenkonsem from awoye Ghana Premier League ni ma coach Efona Abubakar Watara aye manager Edima House Folk we winning the second game our season mo na after senra ochi yon apostle abom kamienwa omo etimi ba kono coach Abubakar Watara ari nsemsi editu ya yentie no
can be difficult for us because of so many things, and the young apostles are very good side, but we're trying to maintain them, and we get the 3 points. I think it's our second win. We can't jubilate too much. We are continuing to hard working to see what can happen in this league. But second win, we have 2 defeats, 2 wins, we have 2 draw. I think we are going to make our effort to do that hard work to go forward. It's not easy, but we are going to do.
Kentia Waka Watara has a folk manager and Amotene Kanwechi Club by Federal Sebidiama Sporting Club at the Rivima Bechim Cameraman team at Yamu coach Dwaboase and in some credit to after so many defeats. No.
We are really unhappy because of result, but when you open match like we today and just after a few minutes where without any plan, without anything, one very big mistake, you are not ready for this. No one team in the world is ready for these mistakes, but this is also part of the football. I don't blame my players, just that determinated way of this game, and everything was very difficult. We were trying to create something in the first half, in second half, but also intention of my players after this goal and positions little forward, open 2 big space for Bechin's player where they are very, very good and maybe one of the best teams in Ghana after transitions, and really that was very difficult. I'm really sorry how we opened match and that really interfered with us too much.
Yes, someone say, "Uda on ichima mitema coach Efona Dwaboase penenisem. I want to dia to jana no club ya kumasi asante ko kwewremu our US ari DC United na ka omni DC United kwakobo na omukudu ye no na se kotoko 2 players Omayira ehwe mo players ye hu omo na omo ni select side amo ewo Washington na boy na case ni ba na wie no Asante Kotoko ewini e kamienu na after the game no omo coach Prosper na Telgum edisima carry tuja.
Yeah, it was very competitive. It was a game of two different styles. Very athletic side, they want to play the balls behind the defense and try to use the spaces behind the defense and then bring in the crosses. But then we also tried to also slow the game down because we realized the athleticism was so much to the advantage. So whilst they were trying to speed up the game, we tried to also control and manage the game. And then try to play around them in the middle of the park and try to come to the side, bring it across and score. So if you look at the 2 goals we scored, that was basically the style. We try to keep control of the ball in the middle of the park, tease them in, look for the space on the side, and bring the crossing for them.
Okay, Prosper na Telgum no na Abrante for the Imanoenchi and so Asante Kotoko omo player or a midfielder I want to say the summer card to Giant.
Okay. Yeah, Tiro.
Family, we are friends. We are from Ghana, so I think the training session wasn't anything difficult because we knew each other. I would say the language barrier was okay because as you can see on the field, they were able to communicate to each other. And I think that helped them to the field. The facilities are good, and they know the player is to be on the team, and their telepathy was there. Yeah, so basically I think.
Okay, and know yes, some Abrante for the Imanoenchi, 1 year. Kotoko team no almost bagana ne.
Team ni nyina na eba na
omo bana 2 players do omo ayira na on say
2 players ni enwa omo ye nkofo a omo ete bench na say omo bobo na kasa
omo ye starters
eno mayira
omo ye sutan for mienu
management akasa fa ho Kotoko management akasa
about players na ayira mpa omo had statement there now say how much we know na a collaboration between Ghana and US na Ghana Tourism Board and a nhihie no to my say to be bia no ombobo how much no now say akosi agima ono ye Ghana Tourism Board ono ye omo CEO wakasa dia fa players no omo ayira no ni ana hanti wakasa nti yetie no
the Ghana Tourism Authority, we are partners to this endeavor. The ODC United, the OBS office, the ODC events, EKB Enterprise, Liquid Soul, and San Ghana, the Ghana Football Association. And we are partners every year. We have Ghana Week in this year. Almost be club of mine. It happens. I mean, but I believe by the time you go back to any penny for better, we will know the real situation and
okay, nti open F na kwesi agiman ha na moteni nkanti say players no omayira ehwe omaye hu in fact ehwe mu kire say players ne kra no before mu fi Ghana ha kra ko US wo no unse Sudan for the ba ha be si akan na omu de omu nioma bi omu bags na da de ma Sudan players ni bi so omu fan di kan ko Sudan homo omu nti na akwa say omu plan dada say omu je do US o dia but nya nti say US a police for no omo tracing omo course no omo ye no ewo ama say no omo hu ndipa na say owo Sudan embassy wo US ho no ho na ne bako no nti omo gusu a omo tracing na de ade anti me ye sure say eye den a ne ebepiem no ye de ho sem beba na ye be sorry so akonamum ye nkwam no ne kakra na onim say UEFA Nations League no matches no kakra eba se na otwewie na oda woni kirema nura games a ekoso a sei na etie Kazakhstan etnefi ema Slovenia akohye makawa comment na Finland esetina ema England ebom kamiensa omoso eti mobako na Armenia asu etina oma North Macedonia ehye makamie no omo sentiment Malta ehye kabako Moldova sentiment Liechtenstein asu etina oni Gibraltar eno se ekoye 0-0 na Greece so ehye kamie no a eye Ireland etimi anti Austria ehye kanum ema Norway etimu ba ko na fi na se we games e kos nyame adoma ene match no e ba so ne sei na ehon sam so asi etie na odan won ekirema Azerbaijan ene Slovakia e bo na fi Georgia ene Albania so ebe hia Iceland ebe tene fi ni Turkey e bo Estonia so ne Sweden ebe hia Ukraine so ne Czech Republic ebe hia Germany e bo Netherlands Belgium so ne France ebe hia na Italy so ene Israel ebe bo Bosnia Herzegovina so ebe tene fi ni Hungary ebe bo na fi wo so ebe tene fi ene Montenegro so ebe hia ntiwe e matsa nyame adoma ne nyina so ebetimi abaso ene ayede ho nsem so edi amamantie di besia na ya sorose na bobo no so se Dovita Heba Clinic omo na ase na no pay yedi agudi ho nsem edi abrem kama pantie di besi nyame adoma ye no be 2 pm our TV XYZ midin edi Roger Imano from the sports monake botile na afiko jovosu omutechi midi besi Kwame Minkah arimu etraso
better say sports monarch so the agudi ho nsem abre na no pay with Dwaboase power 97.9 of so TV XYZ about so power sima nwotwe na make us say mensaka promo na ye no. Oh my goodness, bibi kese bi besi ukuada ye. Said yes, sikasam wesi aye de ayi Roger enya wan say kodoko players no. Obudra man ni omu say no. Said ye woni nufusuo etwagu ho no. E wan ye betra because asase prada da we so de ye timi ntira. Enya wan say Ghana for P edwane ko amanfo maaso. Ahokyere wo man mu. Our brother which are one man no so ya boaboa ye ho enti na mensaka promo no wo ho ma wono na wukwada ye be you know dial star 274 hasha on sabeti maka 2000 Ghana cedis wo dial star 274 hasha on sabeti maka 2000 Ghana cedis etedru kwada memfa ni agrokra aya mensaka wo power 97.9 and a TV XYZ. And so and a so another year special happy birthday message pa a free prophet nanaje my ho e kwama ne hokani ni chocho bucho Mrs. Lucia Owusu Ajimai birthday wish you say nyame koso insha no nya okese mami Lucia Owusu Ajimai. May God bless you, may God prosper you, may God lift you in all areas. May God endow you with your heart desires. And on the chat to us, I love you, city. Where free prophet Nana Ajimai hope. It's the prophet Nana Ajimai to you, Mrs. Lucia Owusu Ajimai. Happy birthday, Kasiepa. And come on, Sansona, happy birthday. So, and come on, yes, Solomon Ablo, our Divine Healers Church, Teshi number 2. Where free Abushi Afone Wadofu Yina. Osi anka Jose Nyamisha no nyo kese wakuma so ade nyina amram and to you once again Solomon Ablo Divine Healers Church Teshi number 2 every abusiafo ni adofo nyina ho awoda papa enkoma ho abusia ye dan ho aba ye ba be boy tonton sansa medical catcho say Roman father Ignatius Samponsa ewa ase ye ne no e ba be di nkomo na ye won sem awodo a ye be dan na di acho titiru His Excellency John Dramani Mahama na proboni mu nkomo a woni Ghana for edie na feso ehintasem bia omunya ya komude be hintamo matwe ye nyina ya dwen ede yesuso ye ba
sawote konkoya na jasa samaba na sawote konkoya na jasa samaba na sawote konkoya na jasa samaba
asɛm ne nsɛm deɛ bi aba bi ne sɛ comprehensive sexuality education here aban tena ase bɔɔpɔ ne UNESCO kabo mu wɔ ne yɛde sika bɛtaa wɔn akyi ɛwɔ ɛna wɔn wɔ wɔn ati kɔ sɛ momfa nkɔhyɛ mmɔfra no ɛnteteɛ mu wɔ sukuu mu no ɛbɛdaa na di n'ano yia sɛ Dr. Matopoku Prempeh saa berɛ na adeɛ ne baa no ɔyɛ education minister no politics ɛne tumi bi a wɔpɛ nti wɔhyɛ da akyea asɛm no ɛna wɔdane ɛde ato NDC amanyokuo soɔ Benjamin Chadeɛ sɛ yɛnya nsɛntwerɛfoɔ ahodoɔ including yɛn a yɛwɔ ha si yɛ fact check yɛ na bɛda adi sɛ nsɛm no wɔka no nokora baako kora anim and that is the reason tia nanu a Professor Nana Jane Opoku Agyeman enya abira no ne Ghana fo bi kasa ɛwɔ apueyɛ mantam no wɔdɛ ɛyɛ Dr. Matopoku Prempeh sɛ wɔmfa ho adansidie mɛtuda because documentation and krata ensie die ho nsɛm bi aniwa yɛtintim agu krata so a ɛkyɛ sɛ na NDC wɔ setting podom anasɛ ɛyɛ ɔmo anomo ɛdwamaama aban no ɛwɔ setting pono na mmom nokura ne sɛ ɛyɛ Dr. Matopoku Prempeh ne education ministry na ano ɔwɔ no ɛna okonya UNESCO so ɔmo di dwuma bi ɛde afa kwan a yɛbɛtemi atete mmɔfra ama ɔmo abɛgye a certain sexuality adie ɛna wɔkɔgye tu mu yɛde sika taa n'atie ɛna ɔsɛ ɛneɛ yɛmfa mbɛhyɛ yɛ mmɔfra no wɔn syllabus mu anasɛ deɛ ɛgyina so ɛde kyerɛkyerɛ wɔn adeɛ eti ɛno ne saa comprehensive sexuality education na ɛho nwoma bɛda abɔnten a yɛkɔ kenkan bi ɛbɛda adi sɛ yɛba abɛkyerɛ mmɔfra no sɛ ɔno no wakwanya so ofili nnɛ so ɔpɛ so ɔdane bɛrima ɔwɔ akwanya so ɔbɛtuma yɛ sɛ ɔnya atenka bi ɛma ne yɔnko bɛrima ɔwɔ saa akwanya no anka Ghanafoɔ yɛ mmom ansɔre anka sɛ ntia saa adeɛ no a kɛdi hini so no wonder sɛ ɛmmere bebrebe yi a yɛnam nsifoɔ a wɔ mmarahyɛ badwafie ɛtintim mmara ɛyɛ Ghana nyinaa gyina yɛ ɛtia sɛbesɛbe ɔbaa ne ɔbaa awareɛ bɛrima ne bɛrima awareɛ no ɛnti nya wɔn sɛ bɛsi nnɛ yɛma mpanyin ntumi mfa ne nsa ɛnhyɛ mmerɛ yɛase ngye ntuo mu ɛnyɛ nwanwa wɔ sɛdeɛ yɛsi di atoa nkyire ɛwɔ asɛnibea a yɛde saa asɛm no a yɛadie wɔ asɛnibea no ahyɛ da bɛyɛ akwansidie ɛde ama ehia sɛ mmerɛ yi mampanyin de ne nsa ɛbɛhyɛ aseɛ eti sɛ ɔne mampanyin kasa ɛde afa mmara no ho a na ɔde deɛ ɛkɔ so wɔ asɛnibea no ɛhi ne ho ano eti nsɛm yi a medan na didi akyerɛ yi bɛka deɛ bɛsi sɛ owura asamoloku gyeto ablakɔ a wɔyɛ ɔpanyin na Dr. Matopoku Prempeh ɛbɔ ne din wɔ abere a na wɔne adehyɛ kasa ɔbantama no ɔno so aba abɔnten abɛyi n'ano wɔbɛyi n'ano deɛ ɛho adansidie abɛto dwa akyerɛ sɛ nsɛm na Dr. Matopoku Prempeh ɛka de afa ne ho ɛne NDC ne dwamaama aban no nokura baako sɛ ɛnim tie no.
Nana Komia's choice for running mate, the MPP running mate, Napo, on a rally platform, told the people of the Ashanti region that if they are looking for the one who started this whole comprehensive sexuality education, they should come to me, that I am the one who led a curriculum team to draft a comprehensive sexuality education. And then he adds that I mobilized pastors and imams. That's the shocking part. That pastors and imams agreed to follow me around the country to teach children, and also recruited teachers to come along. And we're teaching children how to accept LGBTQ+, how boys should kiss boys and girls should engage in lesbianism and all of that. I mean, totally horrible stuff.
Is this your interpretation of what he said or you're quoting?
You haven't seen the video?
I have.
That's what he said. That's what he said.
Is that what he said in the video?
Let's watch.
No,
let's watch
the video.
exactly what he said. Let's just watch it.
Incredible.
And I'm going to say, "Sir, my curriculum, as a son, said, when I was poor, then show me said you." You must go to the body here. The two stand one chain break. I don't put the double up. And the book for a suffer, and the imam for, and the book and the book shell collar, teacher for 60 to 1 collar, said your Burma, kissy Burma. Said your bar, and then the back of bar. Sunday was a cosmo garden. And then a Dramani Mahama, president. Obia did 2 times for design. Obia did 2 times for design. Obi Grandma and the Chiakuno. When today on Sunday. I don't pay the president. So I say open legacy. Mukomisa. 4 years. Can you answer that? 4 years. Emma, or have you over? Or catch I said, you better be just the kind.
Right, so we've seen the relevant portion. It says, okay, so what you said essentially is true.
Yeah.
So you mobilized imams and pastors.
Yeah.
You went around getting teachers to teach kids.
Yeah.
So boys how to sleep with themselves, kiss themselves.
Yeah.
Girls to how to do same.
I mean, what's happening in this?
And that is how.
What's happening in NPP?
And that is why John Mahama was booted out.
Yes. So probably because of the curriculum I led and the activities of I and my pastors and imams and the teachers who collaborated with us. That's why President Mahama is the only president who had 1 term. I don't know whether he means that President Mahama was cursed because of that.
Yes.
You know, I mean, vice presidential candidate in this modern era of campaigning. No policy discussions, no great ideas for the future of our country. Look at the state of unemployment. Look at the state of corruption. Look at the state of the economy. People can't get access to their own.
Oni unim dia mamu ha napo woni unim dia ba point dey say o Samuel Okudje to ablakwa was Good Morning Ghana program no so wa mafia ko ba afia no ko di san komo na ke be bo afia video no ba Good Morning Ghana so no ko kai enti na me bo afri yes our program no so eti wo ka our program no so say de napo ka no nya no kre bo no de epusu no epusa no na sa so ye ne nwanwa ene say sabre ya ye kwato aba amanfo ni adwuma o man Ghana sikasem aye bisi basai anenti na ye ntse napo e kire nia o mo ba abaye. Why we not discussing policy issues na ye too futuro e de gu Ghana fo ani so te say 4 years I know say your mama wo ina kan anyway Ghana fo nyina nim say nya no kre Ghana fo including napo anim say your mama nsa no adwuma ene sa Mary power plant na womo tam ye di ko Kumasi a womo sa asesa ni din eye ni Kumasi wano naponim wonim enoma jomama ban ne ye omo di ja omo in fact to the sense progressively free SHS da bi omo ji achi say jomama anya bibia no wonim de jomama mo di ja no ben now say womo ne nokure abonsa hunti a ma dwen nyina ne say si editro editre Ghana fo a eno na be mam Ghana fo atu ani echiriti dane den yiro obegyina simpie so a na ndi ato na ne se wodi tro e de akire Ghana fo ba isi nyame ncha de set akire ma wo ho empro etimira bi abeka asem bia no na ne na no wo kan no ye de abakire wo na ye de agina so e de aya dansedie akire se wo de wo ka no e ye tontura kwa ntwankwa na wutwa eti watch out in the coming days no mo batin sam me dem me ba asa me ba me be woni mo batin sam ya be kan sam aton konfo so ya be kan sam agun konfo so but there was all ye say pre na hwehwe no kre no emre bia batin sam no from ensam no kwa dwindwi mu pensem mu wan kasa no kre no e be dan ni wadi di atrawo woti asema memfa ne tra e ma onsam chia ti se o ma na o metwa chia na po hu a na wo atwa tora no mo bo mo nsam memonsam bisa hu nsam bi okay say no kura say 4 years na kan ani wa e ye dan na ba o me akotena Joy FM studios na wo ka che John Mahama say okay so ama kane dundum na bana wie ya memfa ntu ho eyedan na ba omiya ka asasem no eyedan sa Mary power plant no bisa omo say hefa na free sa power plants ahodo na joma ama mo kra bae no se na ye dundum na edie na besi se na ye ka se emfidie na joma ama mo de bae ya omo kasa ho bebrebe kan sam de tu omo so se joma ama ma huhuru buo no won beto anyinam kane apio omo se oh joma ama mo ja anyinam kane a abusu a ye hunu de ye fanye me wa no ma promises say omo de one day show one factory de beba obi a wa promises say we the one day show one factory beba what beto anyinam kane api na wusu. And that's what lazy minds do. Adwen no eya akwadwira adwen. And ye here akwadwira adwen say wono na beba be hwe oman yi so wo ba bia ye nyina Ghana ye de ani akire no. Oman Ghana for pre apempuntuo. Ya person oman yi dachi bi ye gina ba bia ye timi sande ho ahwaye ho say ye Ghana for emra bi ba bia ba fa bia no. Obo Ghana dia ne abọ Kwame Nkrumah di. Why? Because of a normal who do a Kwame Nkrumah ejade to ho. So 4 years no ye dum kania ye den about me aka we. Wo dey tie no.
History of Ghana.
And we need to and the right inputs. Yeah.
All right, couple of minutes on Doomsaw, and I have just one question here.
Yeah.
Yes, the president says that they have done the fastest mobilization of emergency power in the history of Ghana.
Really?
4 years. That's what he
fastest in 4 years. It took 4
said.
years to mobilize.
Yes.
And that is supposed to be fast.
However,
that is really scary.
Well,
I mean, if that is the essence of fast. Okay.
The question is I'm just wondering, whatever you may say about how he described what they've done, the fact is that we now have a better power situation than before. And members of your own party have admitted that, yes, they've done something.
And how long is that sustainable?
Well, they've solved the problem. They said they would by the end of the year.
Emergency power. They understand the problem.
We've always said, and this thing, when this government came in, there was no Doomsaw. They inherited an economy without Doomsaw.
But we've had it periodically throughout the years.
But they inherited an economy without Doomsaw. Doomsaw really started in earnest 4 years ago. So they, through their own financial mismanagement that compromised the balance sheets of VRA and others, ECG and so on, caused Doomsaw. We always told you Doomsaw was a financial problem. And they denied it. But once you then bring in resources to bring in emergency power at very, very high cost. Again, car power and so on. These are sole sourcing procurement that took place. And the cost of those things is very high. So when you cause a problem and you've given me a temporary solution to it, and you expect me to give you credit, you must be joking. You have caused the problem, cause of Doomsaw, and Doomsaw has been caused by the financial and economic mismanagement of this government.
So, what tie ne kasa ni ya? What ye emotions free? Ne tie ne kasa ni ye? What tie na say, one mama problem. Na say what the whole and so anu edru aba. I didn't tell me mom and say mouth. So it means that what you to say your mama solve a problem. No, what are you politics? No, or you no free, and just focus on one kasa. Na fe jina so na busa Dr. Matuopoku Prempe say. The na no jina o can no patch say because I say within 4 years ni nyina ni adum kania na. Eye den na bra John mama ba be fra ben no. Ba umia jitu say wo mu di mfidie bi bae na sam mfidie no e be solve Doomsaw. So you see the kind of people we have. I feel young call His Excellency John Mahama na pro bonimun sam but answer na no yentie ewura Titus Glover Greater Accra Regional Minister wabra na nanu bi wo yibeto ho se galamse ya ye kan wasam no omwa mo ho nkofo e kan obi e no mama okun na ye den tie no Wakawadum TV.
Emra na wo ni nyina kire. How to deal with it. Emra na wo ni difficult say law enforcers e wo ho. Ya ye nkrofo no mwomu a. Ya ye nkrofo no mwomu a. Ommeduma no ye de ye nkrofo be. Me am ye be before. Na wo ga dem so se beka. Wase ye na de wo. Ana ado no go she. Wase wo no nkrofo. Ya me am be before no mwomu no. Omuma ekunu e ye de. MPP before na galamsey na ma fight na difficult. Of course. It's a fact. It's a fact. They say men cause one and koyedi na wudi akọ. Soja for enam ekwaye num enam so no so kundi tia. So soja for ba be ko pamu nyina di free onomo ko a district security councils MCs da no de no moye. Regional state councils muna mo hwe security e wo from wo. Mo so de na moye. So every time soldiers have to move from Accra and go into these areas, see a kokodietia and so and then the president catch up and say we are MMDC na galamsey e cost wo ho na wo hwe de wo ya ono wasam.
Okay, and ekosi say one wasam no sa bere na president ka sa asem no MMDC is from who di no e de na tere why na o say ye yi na di and am say wo ya ban krachia mampanya ma won ya wantie na galamsey e koso e won ne mensi na say bia ye owo no hwiensi Titus Glover what do you forget the obi eka ye tie Titus Glover de no tie wo say omuamu ho nkofo omuamu MPP fo no e na abeya akwansidie ama galamsey ko no eti se na wo ka je se wo di asrafo okogum wo di aposifo okogum no makochichi nkofo asese chamfan ne ho nkro no ba ya ye bi pen na se ko ba se emuamu ho nkofo na ko susu a e de na chese de sin ano no ensensi bi o e de na chese de Titus Glover e ka no ensa me ya akwansidie bi o eti se NDC focus e omumom ne ba galamsey ne be free wa beju omu di because anya bia no enye MPP eyaban foforo. That is how you should see things. Enye MPP eyaban foforo na eba ba se ye benya gidie wo nanado danko akufo ado ne ba omiamu somebody tia wei won betima ye bibi e dia fa galamsey no forget it. But father wa say be ne father e be di nkomo ansa na obeti father nka no yentie Catholic eye archdiocese ebra na omo ye trem pai bono omo nam nkramontin so a na omo ye kire na omo de mpaye e de kasa kire tu aban ne fo won ye wo so ye e de fa galamsey no ye hwese de no masi koye eti wo video ya wo hwe we eye bra omo be hye ye kire na se ene said na omo apie ede free bia ye omo hye eye ye kire na se hwe Roma asofom nom empanifo ne said no mani asi abre se omo be dan na didi a chairman san se enye nante bia keke ne nante na mom ye nante dia dan na di se yesu osai na se galamsey ko no ye fa ne se te said ye eye Israel for afa ne se omo ne Palestine for kona ebetima boa ye woku mu oku a ye wono ye yatamfo no eye galamsey enye shoot and kill te said ye Joe Wise no say ye adwen say ye woku mu a eno na be ma nibra ba but so far ye ntimi ndan nibra di why because amanfo bi enianom ni omo yonku bi eka ho bi eto omo huru said ye ombesimi gina mra no so ama mra no ni omadi baba memra father o se owo afutu osronku bi e de magana mpanifo Reverend Father Yaw Amponsa Ignatius James Rev ye mo ache mo akwa Reverend Father
nia
bibi aboko de
mo mpa bo nti boko
e de nyame ase na galamsey enkomo yi e de asam soronko e na ase wo magana yetie o
yo me das bebre say matum nsa afrem se memra na me so machire madwen e wo sa galamsey nsansam no ho na ade titru a maba se me pese meye ene se me pese Ghana fo nyina ye bi se ho asembisa bi na we ni ade titru nti ama maba ha pese Ghana fo nyina ye bi se ho asembisa bi na asembisa me pese ye nyina bu se ho no se sabre ye nyina yenim se yensuwa asai ye forest reserve esepa yensase betimi ayaso enfuo esai ni ekoso nyina ana mpese busa se enti so ampara surface mining enkuto ane ade a yebetimi aye na yenye adwuma ama titru yemebu a omuni adwuma no ana
surface mining no ne de
surface mining say agudi a efuma agudi a yetuo ewo ensuo mu ane asase no ani so
okay
mibusa say enkuto ane ade a se ye a yebetimi anya adwuma ama won a omuni adwuma ye ewo me fan say omaimu ana enkuto ni adwuma
and me sure so wo ka we fi say omo ye garam say ne dodo na say si ejaya e de ne enkoye sa no mo keka enu ntina obusa sa
enu ntina obusa no
okay
say enkuto ene ade a yebetimi aye ne anam so anya adwuma ama won omuni adwuma ye ana woni asembisa me person bisa na me wo arhwem say basi ye yi sa asembisa ye no a obia beka say David if you say ye wo enima horo a yebetimi aye na nipa anya adwuma ye ewo krodua mu na unemployment no a etete ye nyina no ano abrase
but omo wura galamsey ni mo no so sika na ba ye omo de edi sika foforo na ogiri say wo munya wa adwuma ye mu a ebetimi a chen galamsey sika no munya no
oh
sika na ba ye omo de
media nia me pese me kafa ne awubusa mu nse dedi kan no sebi ta fracho se yenye sika no bebre na ya say yensa ase nyinara enti nya fu a yenya duane ni a sika no de beden eti no ne mpese me che ne se sika na ehu hia nanso ense se ye pesika na be wie akire no na ye nyina ye wu oh eti no me de mpese me kan ne se momoye mo ehomodin na yemfa ekwan bi so na sa surface money eye afomagudi a yetu nsuo mu ene asase ni no yentwam
but in the first place etiamra I mean say ubetu afomagudi wo nsuo so no etiamra are you not worried say ade bi tiamra na amanfo ye nanso oman mu mpanimfo ntimi nyina embra no so emambra no eni nkofo ndie
ya ni nyina ne se sebi me kan kra bi ne kwasem bi akire mu ye mpanimfo no a omuntimi fa emra no nya adwuma no enya hweo eye partisan politics nti partisan politics eye ade bi a ne boodie ni senti no se ye active politicians no eba omu ani brese omu pesika edi ayesa partisan politics eye very expensive
na just say dey titi would be say omutimi gina garam say so e fund political activities me titi bi so make a video be a leaky ano obi ka se party here sika no menim say what e dia professor from Bomboatin one say abante en nkomo no menim say what e ya
no kure if you say enum nya sika emu oduro na omde run party no me cheno
eti be ya kwanti bi
eti no me fa say eye me de ma tro de dada say party politics say yentwamu a ebe ha ye kwa bebre so
kwa be so ne beti betwam
kwa bebre if you say ye ka say me say kwa bebre ho no me fa so ekum agiramo ana me boa
afei na party politics abedi hini ewo ye national discourse mu ana ana say ade e wo ho dada
me fa say emre bi atwam na ni ho na sebi Ghana for sebi yo sebi ta frache yentimi anwini ankwachiri ye na ye ma brofo dada yen no ena ma partisan politics dey abage hini na ena ya edi ewi se obedi anim ema ehu se ade ne edi ewu enti yenya ya na alternative a me sure say ye betimi adi nachi efi say ye nyinanum say party politics edi ewu
alternative ne say ye behunu ensema eha man say eyo man ni nyina ehia asemeboa
sure
ti said ye nanu bi joma ama penso na ye sikasem eyaje aguo no ofrefre dom ka say Ghana fo abenfo ene amanyoko nyina amra na ye nkohia wo senchi na ye nwene kwan a ye betima fa so atoto man ni sikasem ye enu bi na wo kana na
oh sure say ye nyina akitum say partisan politics edi bebre esense eboayen etinu yenhia ni ehun kwa foforo betimi afa so abu oman ya ibetimi aye.
So on this note no futuo e de ma president Akufo-Addo ne ba o me aye de ade onya des abre
the me person me can say the person can say mimpo de me stress yennuanu a wo ewo yennuanu ma ne mema wo ewo me fan say security service forces no essence omo no mo boy ho ban ntino e ka me sre won say omo nka ho mom no mo form a common force and a common front na omo ensre ye mampani ani aban wote so say omo nya anima bi animanimu ya
tsa de
di kan me stropa na me matro bi aha di kan say yem buying surface mining completely
okay
na amwa ni enyi yem free sa environmental suicide no a ekos say no ye poison ye ho no yem buying na yen promote underground mining and agricultural revolution agricultural revolution and underground mining say ye fa no momu a sa yen su ye se no ye forest ye se no be fan say and yen su so nyina no etubetwa amenya ahoto de toso mienu ampa say me kan say animanimu ya no say mesaka say ye promote agricultural revolution me will give you say agriculture ye sumu ye pa ye benya dwuma ma busua ama se no obi kam bi atwam no obi kam bi atwam se be kopa abrofo kra be de aba be ye bi aman
be ne garam say pam eye agriculture titiri ye koko mfui dodo na koko akuafo no dodo na de omu koko emfuo no ma omo ye garam say and another reason is say koko bodo obehwe na wato wode no ma toto akwan mu na koko kuayo no etimagina yie no enye sa no ye na adwuma hwe koko bu a wo twa ma koko akuafo ene koko akuafo no de wo mu koko ena ekwa mama etwa enwo ahie sere be yo mbenya bopa. So what can we do?
Aha, you put me answer. Yam ban surface money. You nya ban no pet sa sebi o how nyina etwetwa. Na you promote agricultural revolution any underground mining. E you person to gold wa. Men consume men ko surface no so ko underground.
Kwambe so ne betima promote agricultural revolution.
Oh, and one say aban no e put the necessary measures. Say when na efi na ekuro ye ba be ye na am agriculture no etimi agene naso
enu bi ne planting for food and jobs here na
it was very good but subject attract you kwamba ne fa so ye no oh enu be bre ho no mo ye betimi aye with abe keke ukọ wo mo ye no start independence Malaysia abe keke Womotimi anam abeso enya about 126 different products. Ki say ede adwuma abre won krofo bebre.
That's right.
You know abenko to betimi ai bebre. They can say you so agriculture no mo a, you betimi enya adwuma a ebe dimo sipesita ama ye krofo enye sika firi mu na sare kalamse ni mabasa we nyina no etuatwa. Ade ba kwampa say me can say me fan say any particular bi sika won sam ena me fan say enam won so ma yesa surface mining.
That's right.
You know me say security officers no agencies no me fan say forces no me say omma president enti no ho say sa powerful hands omo hye sa me fan say surface mining si won appeal to them say the
appeal
he say me obaba yi wodwo obaba yi djuma appeal to say omo say henceforth be engage in agriculture. They should rather go into agriculture. Na surface mining no njai. Na me sure say or appeal to them more. Omo do sika na be ho. If say ye twam a ye twam a adwo be no be bi o. Ye twa surface mining more. Dey bia no omo bo ma agriculture no atimi etumpon.
But what about the argument say yenye bibia e friend responsible mining. See ye betu from agudie krampa yentu no kwampa so. Eno so e.
Ma me kan kra se me nchiro. Hwe surface no make me catch you say Ghana be fa bia gold wo ho ejino say gold be bia na say ye betutu asase ni nyina ni a de na besi ehefa na be yefu ejino me no de mpese me ka efa sa service man no say hwe utwa amna na wo say embensuo ho ejino wo horo no hase a sa chemicals no mercury de nyina wo gya wo ho ensuo to a wonim ade ehun pia mpese twa surface mining no ensuo to a sa chemicals no a e was am no e drani fa asase no so e ko chiri enti no se wo chiri baabi a na se aduru ho no mo a wo de wo so wo too well wonye nsuo wo ba nom mercury e surface man enye wonye twa mra no a chemicals no e wo ho no nyina nsuo to a e be drani no akochiri several miles who face say ebia me fan say enye baabi eye kalamse na o tie bohun say baabi a wo tie no chemicals eduru ho
na ye ni kwan papa foforo bi a ye betimi de atu afoma agudi yi
me underground mining
and ni underground mining no
wonim Dr. Kwame Minkah onam ne nyansa so ehun say surface mining ebedi ewu ebe say yensuo ye be say me fan say ye forest ye arable land ebe say no yenye baabi enye efu
tie kwa asase na
so and wo bane ye but unfortunately obande sa me fan surface mining na ye nipa bi boa ye ma ye pam no efiri o man mu ye pam no and na sebi o sa ban no a obane ye no ebi mo throw it out of the window and ama say ye nyini hu but bra obane ye no ye timi preserve ye forest ye nsuo ni ade etino ye san kofa nia onkroma ye den ye no ban na o de to service man ye san kofa ni bane and am say enya afom gudu enko atuo na bitimi abo na nya adwuma amene pepe
o say agriculture bitimi abo
agriculture
but dey na wo ma bitimi atwe mabunu no a and me say ba wo bi o and na garam say sika na yo mo de amo ma be di echi e dey na wo
unim tio show me fan say ye bane a ye bane service man a na aban na employ sa me fan say sa sebi ye mebu ahiafo yi sebi o why employ mu nyina na ode wo mo aye reclamation of the land why employ ye asase no foforo ye due nua ejino bra ye be wie odom be wie sa enua due ni nyina wie no na agriculture no agriculture revolution na so ya maso ejino se o mu wie sa enua no edue nyina ye wie reclamation no a na ye push on to me fa say agriculture
that's right
ya encourage won no mu kom se ne be ya obenya sustainable and decent work ombeye na so mo ya me se kan say emmebio
na social sabre ye brem te bia garam say ni nsunsu anso no na de wani bu in the next 5-10 years e dey na susu say betima to Ghana si anya bibia amfa wona bia na besi
hwe wonim ade akalam say eye sisia me de me nkochiri kra me ka say no 5 years sisia kalam say is causing what I call environmental suicide because sabi you aponche kra konum ensuo no amna na matutu egu ho no okonum bia obewo no sabi na ne ba no na ne tie miensa ana ne tie so enne apemfo ekwa wo so nkwa wo a nkwada no mso kra so omaji won esa bibi basa so this is what we call environmental suicide ehia say ye di ani brim make sure say be ban surface mining me ka say ye ban it because ye were alternatives sir ye betimi e dey adwuma na ye nkrofo nya adwuma ye when you dey be a person make na fine na efa sa a powerful hands na make say behind sa surface mining no say ye aban no I mean identify me ka say me fan say
easy so me to identify
very good very easy say kwada ya na no mo na adwuma enkwada no ejo kalam say boys
ebianze titles global say ye nkofo
omugu enkwada omugu atochem no ye interview ma ibiti me hu mu nyina na ya tax won mo a meche no ye tax because omo no mabo ma ya sasase no ye tax omo sika ye beje no na dey abo for reclamation of the land na dey be kura tue enkwada no ka wo bra mo eye me fan say adwuma no dey aman eti no me dey empese me kan say ye bo homodin na ye twa service man mu a me say you will have our peace.
All right,
I believe it very much.
Okay,
it means me fan say all the personnel in our government me fan say security services no any forces you say they should come together, form a common force with a common front. No petition president any government say ye ntwa we mu na de mabo say ye fanya dwuma me say ye de dwuma me say sa kalam say nyina because me ka say me sir me fan say won a ye de abansika etua won ka say enka me fan say wo mo enhwe me fan ye nsu aso ya sase
kwaye
any kwaye no esan so ọmọ anya nintino me kan kwa kire mo asem bi o ọmọ anya nintino ọmọ di ehwa mo nintino ama ene Ghana sebe moni mo Ghana fo fan cheme ya bedane enkwasiafo bi ewo wiase di so because how come say sebe won suo papa bi a wonom o forest me fan say wasase o poison no causing a voluntary suicide so we yes sebe we nyasafo it is enkrofo no e di sani me show nsa omanye no modi ehwa ma omohwa modie no ama Ghana ababa ye sebe o enkwasiafo ewo me fa che wiase ni so
and some day eye abeya ye kwa akotwe ebeye ade omudi yi omano a sebe eno sa no hu ne sai
minia me tie no ewura hoye
say ye koto abenti
enti no sebio
mi antunwie
sebio position a wo penti Ghana fo ngu sebe me ya say yakopon anam nipa bi so ni abo ho ka no mo university no mo kwa broje ko suade na o me kan se mo tisi a kire Ghana fo me tia na me ra ho no ke say university don ko nyina no e so man fa so ye ko university ye ko akosua ade se de be ya ye de nim de baba boy man na enne ye de nim de hwema nipa awua na sebe nyansa be ne wom enti wo mo ka se ye ntwen ne anyu election no sebe aye me ya se me ka sa aye jirisam
de an
jirisam
o mo ka sa no
jirisam o pese enkofo ni wu na o mu wu a hwan na ba bedin so hwan na na ba ye djuma anya anya de sese nkomo bi wano ka da but sebe I say omo akodo sika esne nipa nkwa omo akodo sika esne me fan say the survivor of Mother Ghana.
But I remember no so about the survivor of Mother Ghana. Is it the case omo nte baby omo wono ene ne wo so omo ye nase ene nti omo kasa sa na we omo kasa sa de omo wa ban mu o omo na kasa sa MPP ene kasa sa
unim the mechanic say hwe unim de omo ye nyomo nimu na sika abedi wonim kan omo nim pa so omo kosku adu akiri omo nim but wo ma mo ho kwan ma sika bedi wonim kan afra wani asi waso enti no mo kasa no kanya sanko nka sika abedi wonim kan na asi waso afra wani edomo hunu hwe domo hunu ane se sika because sebi opposition na all bano and me so se meka position no ba no enye se oman no sebi ombudu active politicians no womudu no enye sebi oman mpuntu nti nemo ombenye sika na omudi aye won party politics no manya position na omanam so aye ye I'm telling you enye oman ye enko oman ye a enkanya senka ye tibe bi ati
kenye sanso say ye kire na ye chichi bigum na mo asofo no mpo makonante krom edan madwenkire di na ene so obi antie emu
oh unim media ho ani bra aso no afa no sese no eme de pa something will happen, something good will happen.
Edi na besi.
Oh, adwen sakra. Say no empire ye si abonten ko boy. Say ye bishops no. Omo atwolo te bebre. Na memorandum ni ade. Several of them. But omo fa nya hwe. Na abonten no ye si ye no, na de empire e bata ho no. Sebi Fred. E be boa ma ye aba. Omo get because ama you push them to the wall.
Very well.
Ama you push them to the wall, so they have to respond. What you say?
Matthias here. Ma push you to the wall, and they have to respond.
They will respond.
Okay. But mama the one who is able to Eddie Ababa be free I'm saying nearby His Excellency John Mahama Probo and then send me a walk catcher. I'm asking enough and put to once. And I feel so about 270. Yeah, got to a banner. I know there's this general course say young got to a banner war asumdwe kwaso but now we ayenre ya kwasi ya de ya na NDC ni MPP obi aye ne work obi anam obo apro e ton nsem na de eti na manbo che say NDC for work no na omo twi moto no edi omanim eto mo mu twi moto no edo mu kwa chi every domino enchen ena omo kowura eye nima Newtown eho eto mu hye Newtown no ena omo koto MPP foro eti bra no mo titi moto no so no MPP foro bu so say na adai e dey nti na mo nso mo abechia wa because suppose for the share no omo ye in such a way say omo clash so moto foro ejiro omo ba bi ti say de hu no we eye moto foro wo bu jiro mma bi no ene say omo eye omo moto no nwe ehu dede no ena ma akasakasa baaye na akasakasa de baaye no edane atwede boy yakwa homa no so Honorable Yusuf Jaja eye member of parliament or Ayaso North constituency obeche ne esi pote Honorable yemo ache mo akwaba emse ma hwe Honorable ewa homa no so so betimi asa raising on the line biwa Honorable Yusuf Jaja eye MP Emma Ayaso North constituency na eye akasakasa ye ba ya edane atwede boy na etu ototo course kai se MPP so na ye work no akọ so question obebusa ho no se obi akọ work no eye den na no okuratuo obi a work akọ ne party ho nsem na etu okura no sa ye den eti akasakasa atwede bo ene tu ototo ya course yi ene amanfo bi o meprepra sabre dodo na no eye NDC for mu na eprepra more and to say the nana make catch on and honorable judge about man so obe confirm on the actually amane botcha say o mo no mu twi moto no o mu ne chase ba o manim e no mu ja edom no ewo achi eti na dom na o mo ye o mo ye enante no ewo achi o mo no mu twi moto no e na puba ba bia na MPP for no ewo ba de na no mo ye to say the hu say e o mo ye okrom no omo di moto no edi di agro wi no mo di yede de serebe ya amafo adwen ebebo mo eti no mu no na MPP fo no efa na bufuo ena kwada ne akasakasa ya wi hunu sabre wo TV no so power 979 oba Facebook obetimi abehwe sade na akasakasa no AC konti we wo hwe a ye twa ye ho a ye kasakasa eti akasakasa ni mu no ena tuo kasa ye question is say obi a walk eye dan na etuo ekura no me say honorable judge aba homa no so a na ye ntimi nkɔ ne nkyɛn na ye ne no eni nkɔmɔ na ye hunu de esi pote honorable ebe kyerɛkyerɛ mu de akyerɛ wɔ sabre wɔ power 97.9 and afi so TV XYZ but father wabra wo hwɛ we ha wo de hwɛ sɛdeɛ akasakasa adane atwɛdebɔ all of a sudden no ye yi ye ho ano ye didi ye ho atem ye kan nsɛm ɛya edi akyerɛ ho then all of a sudden adane atwɛdebɔ
me onim say o busam say enti ye ne dey a me de ho partisan politics de de nam no enu nti ana onyankopɔn ma kutu echampon o man no enimdie say partisan politics amwo nipa enti no ye ntra ne inform union government on me no but yama brofo no asay ye enti no yan hu ne opa kyerɛ Kwame Nkrumah otimi aye enime beba o ye ni nyina ayo etwa ba for 4 years
but we partisan politics we any na hope fe I mean right here right wrong here wrong me de me moto ma be gina wachi wo nante wo hume wa dwen ya se me ba be ye obibi yeso ye tie moto so ye nya ohwe na wa so wa ja wo nante na wo nante ene nsem na wo ton no wa ja no o na wa ba me nchen ene me yi ano na yi ano adane atamdidie na atamdidie adane atwedebɔ na atwedebɔ adane tuo tutuo
the best of say partisan politics no partisan politics no eniema edinam no enibre boni enibre boni timbe hwe we enibre boni nya se obi ayo boni na so person fa kwan bi so a etete no enibre boni me che no I have to say Cain and Abel.
That's right.
So any be na ewo partisan politics mu no so what Cain and nani bebre empuntua na me fa no say Abel O2 anokun no oh the partisan politics no any bro born in the nam eno na am kalam say no I'm telling you enti no me ka we Kwame Nkrumah ehun say partisan politics enti ma yanko yanim no ana oje to me every parliament na ye bra partisan politics and no one more to me puntu you bebre and san wo na abrofo no kura ani bri yen
me no sana be sa say ken kabio e be party ba ko adwenche no beta fa ko ba wen so di amanyoko dodo adwenche pi e dey ada na no so di ntokwa ba
very good to party partisan politics to partisan politics is different from politics so no matter but ya na sabe ye nyemu ntiase nti no ye use interchangeable ya confuse no on me no eti no ye wo me fan say union government ti o union government hwe me frɛ bibi me fan say there is something I call ye wo geographical constituency ye wo geographical constituency on me no and there is another one that I escape kakra say me fan say enka geographical constituency no
yeah
ye yi enkrofo fi hɔ no mo a na fe me fan say recognized bodies ahore ye wɔ no TUC medical me fan say association association with regular budget na yi ebibu so afiri hɔ na dey form me fan say ye parliament no so what you say so you get people very good people o metimi aboy na o metimi adi anim ni anra ne
obi the message about your friend Serenity McCarthy was a partisan politics ekos wo wiase afada nyina enso mfa ntokwa say me say koso na yi video no me be say yi video na ejirejira nkofo ani so te say da ye bone so I say partisan politics akos wo mama hodo so enso nkofa ntokwa bi amaye wo ye work una mo baby me mbeka wo enye dom kra na edimachi eye me enkofuko kakra bi ene etiti moto so eti na gina ye baby no e wo search wo bufuo
me say partisan politics edi ani bra bone enam
edi ani bra bone
edi ani bra bone hwe mafa no say hwe America yes America any the mother of democracy yes an of late yes an ekano hwe senka yekum me fan say Trump
okay
enyame a so what you say
ye body to so body ma me kwa ma so honorable Yusuf Jajaba honorable ye mo ache
me do so mania budget design
me nyame na dar ma ye ho ye me da se pass so ache penny say oni ye be kasa no oni ye kasa e bra eye ntawantawa ne etuotutu yi koso e wonima sabo ye mu edie ne siye
madose
me se nra ye ne wo kasa ye wa bra sa entokwa ni atwede boni tuotutu yi e koso but yenya wofo yi so de sabo ye mu edie ne siye
okay madam wa say anapa we ni adoma etwemo ni ya omotie mu ampa sana wo ka ye no endra etitu asem ekọ ewa ye wa so not constrainty ene baye amba walk ene ye emu ena etitu ebem but aje wo no say walk we since 1992 every election every week walk let me even say both NDC MDC walk but as time goes on they be a fine tune and ye so na ya so bia emba am pass the Nima Divisional Command ni Kotobabe District Command ever starting work we know and draw was our 8th week work but MP before say it was their 2nd or 3rd week almost starting work but ever starting you pray na and they call police station and they call the market route mine I was so not conscious comprised of traditionally Mamubi the whole Mamubi and Accra New Town and then they comprise I was so no so police for no educating my effect the week way party be Accra New Town the other party will be in Mamubi then the following week alternating in that way. Yesterday we were for Accra New Town at NDC and the NPP for Mamubi.
Okay.
So you call your New Town your campaign your work sorry. You call New Town NPP for so more Mamubi everything fine. You go through New Town yes urban because my office of Mamubi that's where we start and that's where we end. You go we ye bano. You free New Town ye banana it say ye 2 ya call that be 219. Why you see MP before? So I was surprised because work now and see and na enfa ena mo ka tell say oh e wo mamu bi ka o could decide on and me be say what happened because they nyina what happened no we were boys where here from Sankofa riders. They are riders for NDC. Sankofa riders.
Omo na twi moto no.
Omo twi moto be piano. You see them in their numbers 20, 30, 40.
In fact, ye video no sisi here. Ye hu se nkofo bi etititi moto so. Omo se NDC t-shirts.
Omo no. Actually, they are not from Iowa so no. They are from Ayawaso East. But you know, because the constituency is like a twin constituency, no?
Yeah.
Ayawaso North and Ayawaso East, to say back on at so boys, no, almost already they go around the constituency every street, just going around, creating awareness for NDC. That's what they do. And in fact, in my work, no, maybe in Pemoto, because the moto no buy ya motor boy ya crofo e be we work now we call hospital in them so me ma catch them say mom for moto ni emba work. So on Sunday no they also do their own work by using the motor number about 20-25 no call all the principal streets no. So whilst we were in Newtown I work no and people were mamobi no as part of their routine rounds no omo sa e be pie mamobi. Unfortunately, be pay road be and a street be. Pay street now MPP for no. As part of their work, the MPP group are going. They were heading to a junction, and that junction MPP group will take to the right to their office. That's where they will be ending.
What if Tobo has say eti moto for who MPP for na omujinaye?
And omujinaye.
Okay.
With the thinking, say, MPP for were getting closer to a junction or almost far right to their office. And I will say, my own dinner hall, so almost got two junction no far right now. Then they can continue and then take left. Mebra and Nini no. And MPP for no Daniel Mweti and Omo NDC for on motorbike. Oma dinner hall. And almost sound Omweti, almost tax no sound Omweti. Ever on the boys. Ekata boys, no, why are they following them? And almost say, oh, they were doing their normal riding in the community. Oh, mono. And meeting on Omujina, Omu Pese, Omu Kwa, Omu far right now. No, almost so Ako far left. And one who know, NOBC, Debbie, almost saying, anyway, to see, say, where to see, Omu Obi Yisekai.
Hey, why not Yisekai?
MPP for them. There are pictures to it. There are video footages. There are pictures. And omu Yisekai. And I say, now where's you Yisekai them?
And obi okwo walk no. Bibo, obi okwo walk no. Obi a one nante no. Sekai dey free.
So I'm coming. I'll get there.
Okay.
And before they could say that warning shot, time. And before they realize, Omo will say one of them, the night Moja Eba. And I will say, are they? What is your Nimojana Ebanu and the Omo and Omunina Johnny? Omo Johnny, you know, and Omo Far, the kind. Name two issue 2 Omo motorbike in our time.
Wow.
Yeah, can say motorbike 6 Ewo Moha Oman Famba. And then you be say, yeah, funny say, NDC for riders, no, Omo Beshia MPP for no. Omo deny it. But let's even assume, say, they even wrote an almost right into them. Young one is a man, you know, and this is for a right echo share MPP for no. Must it lead to a gunshot?
But
that's my question.
That's true.
Must it lead to a gunshot? Secondly, question on me, Bisani say, and yet, how for why will you be carrying guns on you?
Now, second,
I dare say health work. And we are all one in the same community. Why would you be carrying guns on you? So, Master Ubisa, that is the situation. Why will you be carrying guns on you?
Matisa, I post for them say, almost share NDC for ne, MPP for na, Omo Konto Kwano. In fact, I say, a story no indicates say over the weekend Oma mount to a manhunt for Omo Mutechra sa atwede bono
video na NDC for no takwa ben no koye those riders no takwa ben na omo koye
in fact no
look at the footage takwa ben but we have videos evidence even from the videos no be say omo no bon kwala no and say kwala no e fight omo and the boys had to run for their lives.
But honorable, I've also seen videos, sir. NDC, to boy, Ediabo Mukemu, MPP for the Kemu, and on sway. MPP for the Kano, or more to boy at Eddie Bo.
Okay, I dare buy and say, yeah, Mikasha, I didn't see a new town.
That's right.
This was just the riders. People should just declare. And then the whole NDC crowd, you know. Any MPP crowd in the coast, baby. Who are we name? I was so not here. We were somewhere around Newtown, near my airport. And the way you see it. So you better do. We control the crowd. Young announce it. Now announce it. Your program no best say now. All the crowd will have moved there.
That's true.
And then we see we are catching over here. So we manage the crowd to our destination point. No end no. And quickly I address the people. I did see in order not to cause panic when you move because they pray in him I didn't see it. And I can't tell you and you walk no and I didn't see it. Right there's no copy almost so and I'm supposed to see it just to keep calm. So a hot now your crop on a woeful. And I can't tell you nobody should move. I just make a way the Nima district commander that I also not BNI and NIB director and confirm me. While they were at the top, MP before Kano was coming to pass through Mimi crowd now. Here converged the last point, you know.
Wow.
And the district commander on the capital can say, on time call. It's so good for him in the midst of this tension, you know, to use your car to come and pass in the crowd. Definitely there's tension. The district commander said it in front of the director general operation. And you'll be at 3 times or 4 MPP can say on Sanko Kanu and Fino. The BNI director said it in our meeting yesterday that they want the driver not to come and pass. And the driver didn't listen to them. But at that time I informed MPP can never. So they were rushing to the car. Police for now almost a service situation. It would have been a different thing altogether. So this is the situation. But the point of issue here is Chamusi health worker. Why will you be carrying guns? I'm with your health work MPP for.
Interesting.
And they are pictures, footage to those holding those weapons. And Ushe, especially those of them now holding weapons, they are not from the community. If they are not from the community, why not come from wherever MPP work? They just walk out. Why not do a mobile?
Very well. Honorable, Eddie Namoye, Eddie Abua, oppose for the Serbia, Sa a meme for Woody for a Timodin for way. Emrano new
for me, this is just an eye opener to the Ghana police towards our general election. This is even a health work. You need a cock for your mammy, papa, no, young guys, health work. Just one for our fitness, 2 to galvanize more support. Even health work, can you imagine what can happen on the election day? Can you imagine?
Imagine. Honorable, Yanfantria, Meadow Asepa Nebo Bebuan Comoina, Wetimami Yahu, see, Honorable Yusuf Jaja, Member of Parliament, Madishawo, I also North Empeswaso. Now, Father, dear see, no, what foot to our Debema was Sabre, ya Quaco to obey, take through the role of the Ghana Police Service. Also, as some say about was a generalize it. Meanwhile, crime is crime. Crime has no political color. Obia yituato, what ya boninia. Ewo, Jumedia yen nante, edi adan, yamanyo kwedi, edi achaman sign. crime is crime. Obi yituo, obi atwese kan. Wa futuo ye de.
Yo, near the kind, the mechanic say, one more eddy sabi and some hoon, set your human chaquine. Now, a switching beer or man or mound, the mound. Now, make a semi actual, a yard who some maker, a yammy yak, some maker, Nelson, and the cross someone, my fan say a woman say, Partisan politics cry, Amma, Sabi, your security, my fan say, agencies in the brand, or more a papa basa. And therefore, media, men pa me boss will say, a radi emayen who a wood dear, partisan politics, ADN, Nanyakopon, Buana say, election in ya, and Mra Akayanimu, young fan planning for a new system of government. You be partisan politics every home.
But I say, Father Medosipa, no brow when Yamae, and other pay. May His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, a pro body munsum, your body me and saying, a dear Dikai. Dear Wada in the detail say MPP na ya tomorrow in 2016 and from Swakasia ya and the yenina ya tin sunsu aso and afa so wakasa fa MPP ne performance e wa bemu on you say a grade F and afa wakasa fa schools and the trees so the Excellency John Mama waka so far in here.
A lot of the time I hear many of our party people tell us, oh, the NPP have shown us how to chop power. And so when we come, we too are going to chop power and show them it is our turn. We too, the things they have done, we too can do so. You see, the mistake the NPP has done is what is going to send them into opposition. There is no use fighting for political power if you are coming to repeat the same mistakes that the MPP government has done. We must do better than they have done. We must win the trust of Ghanaians. We're not coming into office for one term. We must make Ghanaians see that NDC is always a better government for them. And that will guarantee that we will stay in power for a long time. The Constitution allows me to do only one term. I'll come and do my best. And it is that best that will reset this country and create a foundation and a platform for us to hand over to the next generation of our party. We have done our part. And this will be my swan song, my legacy, just to leave a legacy for our people. And I feel committed to it because I have children, young people like you. I see many of your young faces. Before any election, there are issues that are of concern to the electorate. In some elections, it's about healthcare. You find another election is about education. You find another election is about infrastructure. You find another election is about governance and corruption. The key issues in this election of 2024 is 1, the economy, and 2, employment. Those are the 2 key issues. So let's mark NPP on the 2 key issues. They came and made the cedi stable at 4 cedis to $1. And they said they were going to arrest the cedi, and they had locked it up and given it to the IGP. So let's mark them on the stability of the currency. From 4 cedis, they have taken the local currency to 17 cedis for $1. So on the issue of currency stability, what grade would you give them? F? Fail. F means fail. Then they said inflation was too high. And at the time NDC was leaving office, inflation was coming down, it was below 15%, and they said it was too high. And so they were going to come and lower inflation. Inflation under them went the highest in the Fourth Republic to 54%. And today, as I speak to you, inflation is above 20%, 22% inflation. And so if we are marking them on inflation, what grade will you give them? F? Fail. Under NDC, the total public debt was 120 billion cedis. And they said NDC had borrowed too much. And that if they came, they didn't need to borrow. That the money is there. I've worked with Bank of Ghana before.
And the Bank of Ghana, yeah, Juma paying. Sikano ho, yeah, Mobosia bebrebe. And Deputy Governor, my Bank of Ghana, and about Bonti Obeka say, Bosia Bo bebrebe no, and what emampuntuma, yempe kwaya ebe faso, nya ye investment na, ya boabwa twano, ewo meimo. Na the ebetma ene say, ye be shenko phone cry, so mo be omo obudi obusika. Abe kura wo sika kurabia abankura ya wagu banks yo ono na ekasa sei na me ni obrempon ekrado ti said ye ne da ne da nyina wabra ye boy tonton sansan wo be gina magic wo no na wadan bibia di e de ache wo sabre ya aka mritia wa ye kwoto aba
Kwame enne so ye go so ayegyinam going forward into this year's December 7th, year 2024 elections. Oh my Ghana, ekwakoto abano. TVSYZ and power 97.9. Yebo modi aboa na ensem biara ebekoso ye kwakoto abai ye to abano any abato na chire no ye de abomodi adom Ghana for ahwefo any atiefo nyina kwame enne yebo modi ewo magic wall no ho yebo modi ni akọ screens no so afa ni yahwe se wo hwe aban a etimu sese ya MPP aban a eti banya sese omubu oman Ghana omo achievement baako ana ade baako omaye a abribia wo ka ho asem eye free education amode ba eye the senior high schools abribia no so na omugina even se wo ka bibia asem omo se free SHS kwame na ye gbawuram ni yahwe afie free SHS for wo mo omanya omatimi benefit wo mo nso omunya bibia mfiri mu sai na omo beto aba Ediafa Kwame. So voting trends on free SHS beneficiaries. Ana Kwame ene NASA analysis here a global info analysis and now we Saturday in the month of July and September year 2024. Kwame say ye talk or so enough ye babeshe said the insanity overview ye free SHS policy no overview ha. This is a detailed analysis of the voting intentions of beneficiaries of Ghana's free education policy. As we approach the upcoming general elections on December 7th, we explore how this significant demographic is likely to impact the election, particularly regarding their support for the ruling New Patriotic Party. Kwame, it is said in America, no, ye free SHS policy na eba ye no, one more enya umfaso, anyhow, ebetimi enya impact ewa abato a yebeto na ye December 7th no so Kwame say ye talk so na fe ye go so hwe background and objective and also ya hwe ehunu ensem aewom. The free education policy has been a landmark achievement of the new MPP government. It primarily aims to provide free senior high school SHS education to Ghanaians. And see, some free education policy now it's a MPP for and a deba ya one more yes some of the more than the aboa a free SHS students and education. Okay, the objective of this analysis is to examine whether the policy continues to be a game changer for the MPP in terms of securing vote from its beneficiaries. It's coming here. Say a free SHS policy 2020 a magic akrabi this year 2024 ebetimi asay gina so na boy MPP for and going forward into this year's election. You share the focus or say beneficiaries who have completed SHS, those who could not progress to tertiary education, and those who have successfully enrolled into the university. Kwame, now your pasha one more may free SHS a school yi na omen timi anto aso anko university and any tertiary institutions and afi woman so mu wie na omutimi bo moden ebowura university Kwame ni nyina eka analysis no ho na ye. So in April in April, there was a poll insight, global info analysis for year at the first students who are now free SHS beneficiaries in Kwame. So in April, a survey was conducted focusing on the free education policy and its impact on voting decisions. Here are the key results. So in April, 62% of respondents said they had directly benefited from the free education policy. 32% stated they had not benefited from the policy. Kwame, say you also na yakwa nim na fe ya hwe. And someone omo benefiting, any omo benefiting no so kan idea. Na yababeduwa voting intentions among beneficiaries in April poll global info analysis from here. Among those who indicated they had directly benefited from the free education policy, Mahama had 29%. 29% is on better about Mahama. Afe Baumia had 53%. Alankasha had 6%. Nana Kwambedi had 1%. Other political parties put together Wamunina enya 1%. Undecided 6%. Omo undecided on better abano ediaman and afe no vote 4%. Kwame. Your talk was only a share now. Say voting intentions among beneficiaries in April. Yes, among those who indicated they had not benefited from the free SHS education policy, Nipa 69%. Some of it about the amount. His Excellency John Dramani Mahama. Baumia had 11%. Alan Kojo Chematin had 5%. Nana Kwambedi had 2%. Other political parties put together, 1%. Undecided, 6%. No vote, 6%. Kwame, among those who were unsure about their benefit from the policy, Mahama had 53%. Baumia had 13%. Alankash had 9%. Nana Kwambedi had 6%. Other political parties put together, 5%. Undecided, 9%. No vote, 5%. Kwame, in October, there was a poll, global info analytics, conducted here. So recent insights on youth voting intentions. Membru, free education, vote, how one vote, in October, a fresh poll was conducted targeting 764 respondents aged between 18 to 24 years, whose highest education level was SHS, and 237 respondents in the same age group between 18 to 24 years who have progressed to the tertiary education. Kwame, the data reveals that while the free education policy remains a key driver for vote support, its impact varies across different beneficiary groups. Kwame, not just say, free SHS no beneficiaries no say wo impact in a woman and I said the engine so no different even omo benefit e free SHS policy. Alhaji Bawumia continues to enjoy strong support from those who have directly benefited from the policy, though John Mahama dominates among those who feel left out or are unsure. Not just Alhaji Bawumia Ogusua wodinam because MPP Amanyo Kono and the free SHS policy by enjoy beneficiaries nibi so beto abamano name mo kwomua one more year unsure omo asa omo nya bibia free SHS no His Excellency John Dramani Mahama enso ejine mo ho de pa oji vote bebre e dey free sankrofo yi ho. Kwame, further analysis will focus on understanding the motivations of those who have completed SHS but unable to progress to tertiary education versus those who have advanced to the university. Kwame, Yakuba Yaduma, Yabeto aso na fe yahwe womu timi akọ university e wo beko womu wie free SHS o madwene kuto omu sesi a ani womu wie free SHS no so no womu timi progress anko any tertiary institution anase university na fe yade no so etinya ba ye da ba bedum etiefo ene ahwefo yina me yakwa me ntenensam a wo free SHS policy yi mu womo benefit ni omo benefit ye kokoto abai se de betimi enya impact e wa abato no so ana ye de ba bedum e wo magic wo no ho tonton sansan Dwaboase jumadi yesu me yakwa me
say ye obrem point na de ode kire no simple o hwe o ma ye free SHS baye omo dwen se edi aboa omo no omo dodo na ento omo a wo mu nim de da yanim wo abra free SHS no ye no se de sitie omo nya sure o se de free SHS no ebesi akọ dodo na omo benefit mpo no ehunu se de free SHS sitie no enim omo etomo fili se John Mahama nsem na wo ka se wo ba obeba be ye di ye no enu mom na beboa eti na wo hu se John Mahama ne mma na wanya no e won anim na so enkofo dodo na wo mo efili se ekufo ado na se ba omia mo ayade no e ma no te se de esite baba bi ehu ene nkofo mo se omunim ni eda yanim se ye ma ba we toa so a wo munim de besi kira a o metu anaso metu edi abedi His Excellency John Mahama echino na de wo ho no abusua yenyina we so ne yemfa ye tonto sansan no ento apa hwi
amani ya maya ayo enyo ya ne wom ye peso bia ba adwabo na sibi na asem bia wo bia mu oka na me mani ye kunsum yemfa mu mai motrobodo yemfa mu mai mosempa
Brenie. With Dwaboase or Power 97.9 TVXYZ. Health alert here, John Free Jordan Kosi. A yet Memenda no partner so Kosi, and you rebremu no num. Nenkraba Bako Medina Kaswa Pokwase, a shaman and a takrade from 0242 518893 and a 0242 518865. Health alert. You're going to have a Quiatanase, a Grandma on say. If you can see an you didn't cost double
and some your bonito na ya sorry so now for Nicasia, the daily graphic and now if you say and there are no pay now you're sharing one I say no a year. Call my Nymphony at the honey and I say, Warizane, the board chair Emma AD Bisca crab and in some summer. Now, what you train my baby told us a pair just a quack with Diaka Jimmy, so be Pabus, a quadrum, so betting me a journey 2 years so, Eddie, a money binty, some of the bino. Now, so too, a fee a conyano so, now say, Yaquina, Yashum to some, and a daily graphic, Ebona Mania, and Anno Pesa, so, and former president, a year, John Ejokum for, so extra the robot, Edumani, somebody. Na yadwuma yemu no te se yembo etimu enkansa nsem na eba yanka ne sade yete entum nkyene na se enkwaya dodo enso ehonsem ewo eye bipa no achi wa sa so na je se eye attorney general Owura Godfrey Dame so mfoni eda na asem ne se sade a esemre bi amakwan na ye fam gudie bi ewo kwa bremtum no aban atu anamon se samra no behwe na wayi ade afi o nti wonsem so no wakrata no eno ne nsem titira no pe so nsaka obehu eno nso no ewo eye telegraphic wakrata no achi Kwame ya toso na yamfa Ghanaian Times no emfa entoso na Ghanaian Times nso abamane se na wotwe atwam na akwanhia mienu asi ewo mangane mu a se nipa enwotwe efemu ehwere omonkwa baako asi ye ewo East Legon baako so asi wo eye atwede mpatema eno nso ate nam so na nipa afemu ahwere omonkwa eno achi na obo amane se nyakopon ya adom ochena Ghana mbrahye bedwafo ni nyina besan so aba betena se na ese nso matimi ahwe na embre o maye se yenye fem gudi anase yentu fem gudi ewo kwa brentum no eno nso matimi ahwe edi sambra no dwuma nti wonsam oho sanso na eye former president enso ye so ochiremo na ese ne no na nado ekopie mu ewo eye achim patemu aje so de abasobo ma ochenye se otu anamon so behwe na Ghana eye environment no wetimi abohu anomba na asa abohu ban wonsam so sanso na eye mudis ade abetudwa se ne Ghana sikasem no fedi epeja kakra epeja se ne no aba CAA2 first na say CAA2 ne no o se enkenya ba musa no moka nti atimi abana ni
enkenya ba oboto
da bi
enkenya ba no mabuom
da bi
okay
ekwa na ekosoro nti anu ne nse won se Ghana fo yedi yaji anumom di we no nya de o se yedi akire na yaji di we nsemi no ma twere e de ababeto o de amayen nti Kwame anu ne nse ma se eye paper eye Ghanaian Times no and so a day aba betudwa ende anope then to so ekwanim ewo eye daily dispatch ko wakrata no so emum na no na ebo amane ese ne no hwa na fe eye Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia amodin akọ eye do mahene enan so na se onhwemfoni dia akoto a ochia no na ese no na ese eye ko wakrata no eka se do mahene ochirem se ese eye agenda 111 ho asem nso waka bi ewo ha ko wakrata no eka ho asem ende anope sanso na udomu asukwa bon se ne eye polling stations ahodo a ewo eye asante mantemu na fe eye framantem no wakrata na ebun kompo ebun konta no ede egu anti se wo samye ya behu polling centers and stations dodo a ewo saso na afa eye incremantem ne mfimfim mantem so a wa ne sai pepe ede ho nsam so ede ababetudwa saso na eye cardinal apia Texan enso ede nsem bi etudwa echirem se wo behia se eye nipa benu a omugina se Ghana fo ye nto omo so aba no omo hwe pass omo betimi ahwe na nka eye nhyiam di bi kura so omo ni pope eye ya na se beye no omuntimi emfa wonsam enkwa adwendwe mu nti wonsam so ena ese eye ko akrata no ede aba betudwa ewo na ohwa ase kura nso a ese eye MPP nsam enso radio gati eda ha o chem se MPP be use je se revenue Ghana ye jeje no ombegina no so ede transform eye Ghana dankwama na
de ye guso aye jijie yede
ene de ye dware wie
okay eti dabe no erade
so na kwa mo so mu wini a so me hwese me gina revenue collection so no me transform eye Ghana
so is that an admission say nanu ya no the emoji and a month for
Mind
and your mind
Power FM.
Nice we no want to me and find someone there send mind basado no kwa.
On your daily dispatch.
Ube hu sansem ni nyina e wo ho. Kwame Minkah so enko Herald ko akrata no so emu. Na say no national security wom kirem se hu behia pass bokọ medu ho na je se police ponya or that is supposed for no ho no omko isisa no kra mfio and transfer no sense dwumodi no enya de etwe ye ho nsem e wa je se ko akrata no kasa so na owura John Dramani Mahama nso akirem se nyakopon ya adom oba Ghana economy no be revive no o de sansem ko tudwa e wo wa nti nsem so ho sanso na wo hwe de Herald ko akrata nanima anope se de awoka no eye napo ne nsema se waka ka obi anim so no ana aka sansem no video ho edi ho adanse se ni nyina se ene aba betodwa se UNESCO video bi kura adane di pefe se
2018 video
se eye napo homosexuality ya ho nsensemi na so di mu akoten pa so di rural schools mu internet so ka so ra okujato ablakwa na etu sa na mo na nya de se Ghana fo na se ye nyina kura beje di okwan bia so enim so no na di ho akotente ni mfoni adaha na obenfo je na no pokwa agyeman mfoni da na fe owura Samuel okujato ablakwa nso no mfoni adanti ano ne nsema se Herald de betudwa all sign papa no se ka se owura okujato na sheti se oni imam fo ni asofo imam fo ni asofo beye we se ho nsem no na se ko akrata no de banti Kwame no so na megina na mfoni kase no ye de asi anope
se na prof catch no o dance di on fa betudwa
ya di obi nti last week mo ya ko fa ni video no ka no hyebo se e wo se ne na wo se ya di wrawura mu no ya de baaye nti ono so wo bi a onko fa mra
mate me da se akua krantima na ten nka no abusu Dwaboase ni power 97.9 ana TVXYZ Madam Time Bomb my crado ya ne ba be hia na ya di eye emofrante te ho nkomo entete papa e wo se wo de ma wo ma what did you make no and I said ya wo fu asi ato santre e wo Let's Talk Educational Consult obi ade ne beba and the reason is simple Madam Time Bomb ojina indek ni Montessori kwan so and on there drink kase she mo friend trim what you see Madam Time Bomb abebra so Let's Talk Educational Consult you media what to the educational time bomb no ni bra ni nie with them 8:46 a.m. A born on group papa Shamima Muslim Babatina Pasabre Madam Time Bomb Akwaba Bibia Boko dear.
Hi Kwame. Good morning.
Morning.
How are you?
I'm fine.
Good.
Yourself?
I'm good. I'm very fine. I'm fine. Nyamina dum bibia boko Kwame. Bibia boko. Good morning to everybody. Obiori Tayan, Obiori Shehenanepe. A beautiful good morning. The weather is very, 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 very homely. I make a homely and I do a boko. I will tell you more. Okanwa mo akuma toyem. And a pay. My main fan check I say in fan mo. If I'm a bat and man Ghana munya a cheerful. Not mean chair Reverend Fina Kuma example for an pay. Mean chair Mrs. Edith Ample for Apostle Dr. Park with Himans, not mean chair Reverend Susan and Mr. Arthur and a pay. Good morning to all of them. It's been a roller coaster. It's been wonderful. It's been a good experience because sometimes Kwame or sit back. Na ever sit baby. Na what you've learnt and the things you've put in your brains and in your head there. The impact no other and a pay make us a Let's Talk Educational Consult. My main chair at for when na menda wana sifo njuma worry especially for my little ones and how they are developing and growing. Na menda me expatriate us and pay that they keep on coming in to support us with the work we are doing. I'm Canada. One more film Amananza or many more boy and more from with different cultures and all that. Me Canada ma Let's Talk Educational Consult Watershed Ngwa Estate. Yabelejo Kuku Municipal Assembly, on the Mango Street. That's where we are. Or ya bia etitembo from our way 6 months to 6 years. Na nyamen charge no. Ya the
Katromo.
Ya the friend in early primary as in grade 1 to 3 grow to help the kids, because the kind of destiny we want to build with them and for them, they need a lifetime mentor and a coach. We need to pick up gradually from there to help them. But let's talk educational consultant. You're training more from with Montessori and INDEC educational program. Now the Montessori is more practical. We've put a Ghanaian touch to it, and so we are using it in a way that for more money what's in Yamase when it comes to the Ghanaian concept, and then opened up with the INDEC educational program to Iriaze, and so because it's very important.
Mama Fatumbi abofra wadi mfie nan bia menim no. Eh me say amama who do a war bibi memoir wo bobo a me him grant me shebe. Because at that age, I don't remember mentioning the names of amama na wo a bibi memoir to say the Edana no Burundi, Cameroon, no about Libya. That said you besia canon. As wa ko waba. It is anti-tiana na mama of yo.
Come see experience be why out there as a frano in all ways.
Wow.
In pictorial form, make a picture in pictures, in things they can touch, and open up their imagination through reading, through videos. Open the doors of their imagination to those worlds. Now what I say, where do you get this from? From geography and all that. It's good to build a child. It might kade osa oduwa metren. Put it there. So it's like a seed. Emu pampro. Mes modio pampro.
Yes.
The time it takes down there. So or start do oritua. Enwa. Obiara nsonimo. It's a fourth of speed.
Experience na kasano.
Now or shooter. Yes. This is where this child is going. So I always say that we have a responsibility, and that responsibility say dachi will be sahin. Into anepe let's talk educational consultancy. Ye boy henabo. For a friend Branombe experience LTech school, all that we are doing. And Yama Afrabanenta today, learning is not just about taking a pen, a pencil, and a paper or a book and sitting down writing, but it's also an experience you can get outside the classroom.
Wow.
And so I always tell my teachers that to get a child to understand more of what you are learning, take them outside. Let them sit outside. Even they are the four walls now. Let the mind walk beyond the classrooms so that they know that they can step outside and come in as well.
Classroom won't go on.
Classroom won't. Sometimes children are limited. That's why I say that say Afraba between 6 months to 4 or 5 years, they need to get the space to explore.
That's right.
Sit somewhere at a corner on a mat. Say Emma or a table na chair nankutia. They are limited. When I come to the class, I would me a day. It's only when I step outside that I can jump and have my freedom. Yes, but they should understand that the freedom and everything is also in the classroom and need to be explained to so they get it. And so it says, but let's talk. We open the world to them in the classroom. So they explore the world in the classroom and outside it, and it helps them to develop. What I experience, you know that it is good.
Yeah.
You can call us on 0249 069821. 0249 069821. Follow us on Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, and TikTok. A lot of videos and a lot of pictures there to help a child develop. Kwame, this morning, say something. Say this after me. I have something to give.
I have something to give.
Whatever that is in me.
Whatever that is in me.
I need to give it out.
I need to give it out.
Kwame, in Ghana, we don't understand what we call volunteering.
Wow. To watch it. There
are kids somewhere. I was telling Ima, our producer, that there are kids somewhere. They just need winuma someday. You can do it. Wasubotumaye. I had a mifi. Intercession be mamifi, na be mamedria. You can also do it. Words of encouragement to push your number from a palm. And so if you go to our villages, our hinterlands, and you see what our little ones are going through, and you show them videos and they ask you, hey, that should tell you that there is something we are not giving them. And so this morning, in all that you are doing with your profession, have it at the back of your mind that your profession is of destiny building and life mentoring. your profession is of destiny building and life mentoring. Don't mind where you are. What you have in you, put it out there. Kwame, our kids are losing out. I was privileged to work with people from Thailand, Finland.
Wow.
And when you listen to the kind of concept and how they work with their kids, you see that when you go to a conference and you give a talk, you ask, is there any question? Obi a question obi bisa na. You find the room very quiet until you put something across. No obi answer no obi akade pocho me wo bibi day. Now what about this one? That is from the question you've thrown to them. It's because of your number from them. We've trained ourselves in a way that whoever that is standing in front of us, Morikano is the right thing. That's all. Right. Into the year, my number from won't open up. And here is the case. We've gone to a place and we are teaching and we are sitting in the sun with the kids with this hot weather. We are sitting in there with sticks, learning how to write sounds and yeri and wahwenim and come and see the kids. Me teacher ni me nye bi da o. Wow. Inti madam me so bet na ewie mo bet na fo man or the bro ban. Ono so bet na fo man. Inti awu so bet na fo man na me si nyo. Braje de ye ko pekete. Yes, this is so form. And that is where you realize the kids were opening up and talking. Because we're classroom and my teacher never channel. That is it. No. Where we? So this should tell you that if we want to perform where you're vocal, outspoken, and all that, Kwame, it starts from inkitin. Wow. You know, there's this thing that is happening, but we are not taking it in. There's a gentleman from Ghana who traveled outside. No kind of story there. Oko interview, Ophélie almost 11 times. So he sat himself down and asked, what's going on? And then he found out. And after finding out from one hour interview, they said he has a disability. Also, there's nothing disabled about him or naturally challenged. Na sama work can you there? Obeja when you know answer question na we sanitize or didn't say good nature, that kind of showing respect and all that. So they think there's something wrong with him, so they can't pass him on that. Kwame, you are laughing, but that is our culture here. Yes, we have the culture in Ghana. The Yebo Boaze paying your casa for unsa guiche. That is what we are taught. But there is the need to teach the performance the difference between being well outspoken, being confident, and telling it as it is, than ebe a mob thinking that the man was a mob. Outside there is no like that. So we need to start teaching our kids to be bold and confident to step out there. That's right. On yet the mom, we will always be. Where it's good to say yes, humility is good, but there is a difference between humility. Sebiota frache. You're
born out of fear.
Thank you.
The
spirit of fear. The people standing in front of them and are sitting in front of them, it throws them off. Yeah. If say a number for to be confident, like before we stepped out, talking to the kids, you could see that there's something born out of them. Yeah. Bibi, if you want to move abba, into casa, this is a young lady talking. Yeah. This is a young gentleman talking. Not yet, and no cut there, and no ye, or cut then and chobe ye yam. A bit some question, a de canwa, obey a day, and but after exposing, giving them the free space to tell you stories from home, what they see, what they experience around, you can see that these kids are very brave. Because so I'll tell you as a story, it's a whole book together. And this is what we call social. I mean, you are building the child socially to meet what is out there. Why do we always come from in a way? And so I always want us to know that the white will tell you in our classrooms we open it up. We sometimes even find an opportunity to come and sit and teach or discuss about it so that they get to know that I won't see a yejina how when ya minty. I won't see our friend I won't see a mijina not me. But I always extend in a way that I'm meeting our classroom because you've come to me to learn. But we are learning together. That is it. So let's open up to our kids and build confidence. Confidence is very important though, because confidence can make Obia on you to come and stand here and tell you, you will believe it. But then you pana on you or Tinchen because the confidence is not there to come and tell you what they need to do. And so, Kwame, this morning I am talking to each parent, a teacher out there. You have a lot to do. Build confidence in your kids. Let them know that they can talk out, they can speak out boldly, chest out. Where it is wrong, sit down. Is that all you can say? Sit down. Maybe say teacher could be there. I will them know was here. Don't use that on the kids. Because as you are doing that, they will thank you. Na them so feelings. So how are you building that destiny? A friend has in a destiny, but you are helping build it. Into say I'm for cement, papa and she my friend. Blocks no building, not to baby obey you. No, Drew go one another. Care when there, a dan obeys one on same man and continue. There will be people in there. Into Drew go be good do. Oh, good and continue. So go beyond just that. And if you are a teacher this morning, take a pen and a paper. You might be in a classroom, but whoever that is listening, know that there's a difference between principles of teaching, methods of teaching, the qualities of a good teacher, your role as a teacher, and the teaching skills itself. May intertwine and may farm boom. When you sit down and you list these things, which we'll talk about on Wednesday, you will know that as a teacher, you are lacking somewhere and you need to set up. Because the teachers from Finland will tell you that the students, aside taking notes and listening, should be encouraged to sit and actively participate and discuss. When a basic, there should be a discussion because say a discusser. That is when somebody will understand from the colleague peer. Because some of us went to school and we didn't get certain things from our teachers. But here colleagues were explaining to me answer here questions. And so always have it at the back of your mind that the kids in the classroom and then you want to try teaching them because it's edu baby I won't see. So you are disseminating information.
That's right.
But when they get it, let them understand. Mo won't do another pamprono. No shoot away shooting here. Because and it's scary.
It is scary.
So when you see a child out there and you are an adult and you are working and you are doing something, speak into that child's life. Tell them you have something ahead of you. You can do it and do it better. That is what will make them set up. When you're the man, Kwame, you will be 80. You will be 80. Who is that child that will prescribe that medicine for you? I always say it here. And who is that child that will be confident to tell you that, Grandpa, you are doing it wrong? Or Daddy, you are doing it wrong? Or Grandma, you are not doing it right? Or Grandma, in this age that we are now, see, a day no recording, day, or bebwa, we will keep them there, and all these things will be locked up in there. Some potentials have been thrown into the sea. They've been locked away, all in the name of building confidence, and we didn't do that. So we need to build that. Then whatever that is added to it, the kids will get it. Confidence more be answer question well. Confidence more be tea. Confidence more be panic. Confidence more be lose fear. Confidence more be into and stand. Confidence more be run. And the best person who could have done the job is the person who is running.
And I don't know. Madam Time Bomb, let's talk educational consult. Say baby I'm more.
Yeah, what Tashinungwa Estate, your Beleja Coco Municipal Assembly, on the Mango Street. Come and let's assist. Kwame, we can't do it all in the classroom.
True.
So radio and out there is what we are dedicating ourselves to. Working for Mother Ghana.
Working for Mother Ghana. And God, that's say radio, TV, online, baby, you bet me too, and more frafo. Baby, you bet me can some no actually. I will for set a bay and to papa, you the mamma frono. Okay, maybe you be health alert clinic. Shamima Muslim about the dada. Okay, HBI, and then a Bashan Commotion. I say, Kaisamine, Shamima Commono, a Benjamin His Excellency John Dramani Mama, na pro body moon coma on the Ghana for AD Titru. Nanu ya Upper West Regional Kaka say, a bear economy no padia. A byway with dear my Ghana Ramo. Because I won't mark your mind a byway. Obama F. Shamima were elements of the F now, or the Baba train. You know, so the didn't come on. And yes, so that your mama and cross our neighbor. Then you know, come on, you did not pay. But Saturday, Doctor say health alert and common any dog. Aguaba.
Major Sobra Kwame.
Maybe I'm going to
yes, what do more be bearded than alcohol.
Fantastic. For it way.
Men, I was say, my main fire and Chakasiamre, I shall phone at T4. na ɛna no mepa cho ma mento enkran fama asim fosuman ɛne ne important mepa cho on the 24th Thursday mepa cho busumi we mu ano ye health screening no free health screening no train no mepa cho atu yɛde ba asim fosuman minim sɛ mo hwɛ TV XYZ pa nti anopa yi yɛto nkra no na utia na so hwɛ a tumrika na frɛ wonua bi na ma wonua bi so mfrɛ no nua bi nka nkyerɛ ne sɛ Thursday 24th of this month na mepa cho yɛde free health screening ɛde bro ɛwɔ asim fosu ne important a confederate ne yɛkeka ho ne nyinaa na mepa cho kro bia wɔ so a wobɛn asim fosu bia no on the 24th na mepa cho bomodia na hia yɛn police barrier Fosco kwan no so no mepa cho ho ana ɛyɛ health alert clinic pacho yebutu a ye free health screening no de bro and nti asim fosu atade ene yate den ne momo de asim beba in your numbers na afie no bibia no akoyi na ye ba na say screening no say na ye kono OPD free me pacho wa wie no ukwa hunu doctor no waka wasama kire no ma doctor hunu de ekoso wo ni paduanim no consultation no eno so free asin for so mine na me mo kasa ne important eno wo bibiara opeso okọ asin for so ni bi no me pa cho wo na me wudi sa enkomo we me pa cho consultation eno so free afi wa wie ama doctor so age umoja ene ojonso sebe ne keka ho wose ye gene de fam fidie mu no me pa cho ni nyina no eno so free at the mount ni nyina no free at the mount pacho wa wie no se ehu behia se ye massage o yemfa ho se yesuna machine me bia na nsentam yi onsa etimi tetrete o night mi tetrete ama enema nkoye wo ni padua ni mu a wo ho no mu a hu se wani wo hwade a unhu ni ya me pacho fosuman tutumrika na fa bedan health alert clinic police barrier ho no mu a Fosco kwan no so ho no mu na Thursday 24th ya edi anim ya yi 24th ya busumi we mu an fa ebra health alert clinic na eno so free e de mauka kre wo mu an se kutua bi a obetua no na de agibundru na eno no ho asem no fefefe de aka nyina no free eno tutumrika na afei no eka kire obi etre ne se asempa eba eno ntino no so momoden ase obehia yen on the 24th of this month October ya me pacho Thursday ana ye this free health screening no e de bro afenso so mu a me pacho ye ne mu ye free health screening no e wo Accra na ne important no me pacho well to me buy ye nyame onsira ye da wase pa na emom no doctor ne udi nkomo bi say 2 weeks time and that's 1 week time but more than bra for review fa ho betre ne ehunu ne ekoso ewo ni padua nim no me pa cho etano so a bo modern so obetutumrika na waba health alert clinic branch biara wunim and as branch biara wo call for free health screening no Madina Pokwase assignment ana afen so me fa say Madina Pokwase assignment ana kasoa and into bo modern as branch a wo call free health screening no and command doctor ni wudi no obe modern den wadi so na waba be review no ne ahunu de ekoso ewo wonipaduam no ma wie ne se ne me pacho health alert clinic se na de bia ne ba na obehwa ne tai boy yade be ulcer ne ntia ya na nkrofo bebre nim se yade ulcer nko na yehwe ewo yaso ye ho enye ulcer nko na yehwe yade bia eha obia no obetumi de abo de awura health alert clinic se me ne wo kasai a doctor for aye ready a me pacho omo jimre se obefre no omni wadi nkomo o how bia de wo ni padua ni no ofra me pacho eno mu ni nkomo de emma health alert clinic ye down so ne se ye betimi akowo a me pacho ye beka kire na ya director ba bia ebe wo no na afi wo ko nom senso o how na wo de ba no se anu odin ne ntimi nkomo a ye ka no kware ne de kire ye ma wo mfa ka emma metena eye health alert clinic sebi ense wadaje de tosumyenu ense wusika me pacho nti bomodi ase number me de ma osisi ayi obefre na de how bia no wa free health alert clinic mpanifo beje wo so a doctor fo beje wo so no mo wadi nkomo de wo mu bia no no kware no ne yaka e de akire number ne 0242 51 88 65 0242 51 88 65 and 0242 51 88 93 0242 51 88 93 na bra kwa me pacho ene no services bia ya render our health alert clinic nkrofo bebre ense den nim no bra kwa me se wo honom na bia wo laboratory test ahodo bi a wo pese wo ankasa wo ba be ye nhwehwemu na unhunu ba bi a wo nkwa obora health alert clinic ebiti se wo pese wo ba be ye bia checkers bi wo gonorrhea syphilis chlamydia me pacho me find sexually transmitted infection bia niam a wo tinka wo nipadua nim na nsentem na se bi ohunu se ensa wonsa wo bia ba be go be ma no na nsentem wo tinka se wo tunso pe a ne mu hyehyɛw wo tunso a wo tunso na tinansu fita bi ye den edi akire ohunu se eniam enkoyi a obetumi aba health alert clinic no waba be ye checkups biara a wo ye den ewo woni padua nim na yatumi ahwehwe mu ede ama se opese ohunu eye wo hepatitis B status so amepa chow obetumi abawra health alert clinic na afen waba me aye sa checkups na ahodo nyina no obu okro opese ohunu se sebio HIV ne status no etesen mepa chow ne so obetumi abo ede awra health alert clinic na waba be ye sa checkups ne nyina mepa chow se wakoma omrebo ne nyina no liver function test ana kidney function test ahodo ni nyina no health alert clinic me pacho ya bia ya pona ubetimi abawura ho bia wo nyare nanso ehu behia se ubehunu se ne wo nipadua no akwa no eye adwuma wo nipadua mu enu ntunu utimi bawura ho no na checkups biara wo pese wo ye no ehunu se wo nipadua no esipi esima no be pacho wo bawura ho no eno so no ebetimi ayeden ahwe ede ama bia me pacho wo so no pese wo be ye PSA ye prostate obe check so prostate no ekoyi anase enkoyi ehu ba nsem anase ehu nya ma nsem a mepacho ni nyina no uba health alert clinic ye betumi akọ emwa ye nuanom ma ya mafo eyefunu me pese me kire mo se ebo se wutimi ba check up anase oba me ma ultrasound scanner obehunu se sebi abofra na oda wo yam oda yiye de tosumie no oyoba anase oyobema de tosumie sa sebi ne honam akwa na etuatua ho no eye nani nano naso ne nsa ne de keka ho no nyina etuatua ho yi ana me paucho foni nyina bowra health alert clinic na ebeye den ebra baji ayarehwe anase bra na ye ma osa checkups ahodo nyina no afi no enya no soso nkwa na ye hwe ewo health alert clinic me paucho enanse uyo osa anase osa patient anase osa yade ebia ba oni padua mu eniema nkoye ewo oni padua mu udidi na aduane toyam eye bo ya nsuo na obanum eye bo ya na nsentem uhu se woni sio no aye busi ase obroni bekase blood vision me paucho tutumrika na dia ba health alert clinic na ya check ya ma se eyo how bi na eba me se abibidro ebo honum emfade wo yade na ewiase uton yade na wunya anuma duro yade wo honti ana yarehwe nso so ebo ho ayarehwe wo honti na bibidro wo ho bibidro wo honti ana health alert clinic me pacho yenso so yabie ya pono ede ato ho ebo Madina Pokwase assignment kasoa ana afi asimfosu ede twen enei de bra kwame mesi yenkase wo binwo yenkase wo binwo me pacho infertility in men infertility in women me pacho dofo no so ne nsa ne fa ne fede ye bia nim me pacho ye didi na ye nom no de eye den a ohaw bebe ye nipadua no ho enu nti sa wo ne ma me pacho empa ne nkonko ye atam didi ma ne nkonko ye abufuo sabio won se ne moto nkra se ye ba fie pe na wo ye mo hyehyɛ me pacho ene health alert clinic ntini nyina etu atwa tutumrika bra na ye nhyɛ na bibia no enkoyi obema wo mema nsam enkoyi tutumrika bra health alert clinic na ebeji ayarehwe me pacho entographic ma obi enkenkan emfama ade ye wo wiase no enti bomodin ano so me pacho se yade no aba oni padua no so obema nsebe esotia na eti obema no sebe fo na efon obema no esrenke aye kotoa me pacho fa bedan health alert clinic ye nuanam ma me pacho mo menses enkoyie ene eba ochena na atwa ochena eba ade che na atwa wan ye ni unhu menses animu a tutumrika na bra health alert clinic. Health alert clinic always here con heba asim for Sumai 24th Thursday a free health screening bra na ebenya ayarehwe mapa na eno soso ne hwe ne ekoso wo nipadua nimu na emfa ho asam emfama enkran for de ya bie ya pono no e de ato ye number no e 0242 51 8865 0242 51 8865 and 0242 518893 bra Kwame nyami onsirawo na onya wokese
dog we da say ye bra de kopa ebusia abono nkra pounds madumiensa ebra so so ban no ebetena say health alert na atu o monka no because Roman Rich traditional Chinese clinic so Omo numbers ni 0546 450672 0546 450672 and 0556 121863. Common chain na akumayade diabetes wachi nompe ayade ni nyina no yebedi ho dwuma kidney ho sensem liver problems ni nyina yade ayedi ho dwuma ewo Roman Rich Traditional Chinese Clinic. Why adwa fridwada kosi kwasiada adwada kosi fiada no eye anopa na watwe mpemu kosi anwumrebre mu na onan mpemu e na fe so memenda ne kwasiada no eye anopa na watwe mpemu egosi awiabre mu na omienu e na oni Roman Rich Traditional Chinese Clinic adokota fo ebetena se na modi nkomo abusia ma amhwe woti su ye besi ye menkoba bia sami ma muslim ay krado ayene no e ba bedi nkomo no enkomo ni nyina agida His Excellency John Mahama na probo enkomo awoni ye edi sami wo de pruminim na amafo so waba
maba me wa hapa prince and say
yami na daro
ejuma no so
ye kura
me hu se mo bo ejuma nkunim so beba nkunim be dia inshallah
amen
makonof nti ye onyema bebre kan
eka anope
okay me chia oti efo nyina e na wahwefo so nyina
that's right eti mo amhwe ne ye besie menko ba bia quality die solar knie abuja TV SYZ to sudie and a face so power 97.9 enya tenase shami ma kwa ba bio
me just say
ya medie be pa ba ugu
oh michobia
so
reset agenda no it's on course
sir
full course
na dia na ba wo upper west ebra His Excellency John Mahama na probo e koso yi amanfo pudi na chi sa edom no
na me de me can say upper west there a no go area
wow
for the new patriotic party ya na ye making mistakes be memory etwem and now etimi be J3 seats be otherwise upper west region historically has been
a safe
the
seat.
Backbone. Me can say
safe.
A backbone of the NDC, largely due to the history of the region. Jerry John Rawlings, or TA region. Otherwise, we're all part of the upper region. Northern and upper region, upper east, upper west, and also upper west region, Nankasa. So we have owed a lot of gratitude to the PNDC NDC era. Na oye no so one daninechi amayeng Upper West region, Jerry John Rawlings in the time of the PNDC era, a lot of sons and daughters from the Upper West region then held very significant positions in his government. Chichirune, Alaji Mama Idrisu, as you know, longest serving defense minister, Sabeye presidential advisor in the dying embers of the Jerry John Rawlings, Democratic administration. Oshe Parliament and the contribution of the sons of the Upper West region on the ticket of NDC in the strengthening of parliamentary processes. There is no doubt. He started from Honorable Alban Sumana Bagbin, who started his political life as a young man in his 20s, rising all the way to become now the Speaker of Parliament. Persons like Benjamin Kumbo, like Honorable Electoral, a lot of them who started the 1992 Parliament and were real strong bulwarks in parliamentary processes.
That's right.
I mean, even opposition members of parliament, I'm a parliamentary correspondent, so okay, for TTFM.
Yes.
Omuka say, bank committee worker, Electoral, nobody. And these are, and we're a small region. Says Yana, because they redemarcated, that was Upper West was the smallest and the youngest region when we were 10 regions until these new regions came, and now Savannah is the smallest. Do you see it? So the Upper West region has produced significant human capital for the development of Ghana and for the development of the NDC. Kakra up to the in-law, M.A. Seydu, no a roads minister, and lots of, significant positions have been held. And we've also not turned our back at all to the NDC. Yes. It could be more. It could be. And in terms of educational infrastructure, we owe a lot to the NDC.
Wow.
In terms of water expansion projects, we owe a lot to the NDC under Jerry John Rawlings and Atta Mills. One of the biggest water projects was initiated by the late president, Atta Mills. JM Nsobaye, Wamayeng E-blocks, we have a health facility, a nursing training facility in the Upper West region. Of course, as for development, it could always be more, but we have a lot to be thankful for, for our longevity and our long, political commitment to the NDC. It has also yielded,
contrasted with MPP. I mean, under Kofor and I think so under the current administration, and no man for Upper West between the almost
TV3 call was central constituency watch. In a lot of the constituencies, the MPP people did not turn up. Was central Umwamba. Why? Because they can't answer the questions. From the promise they made to the real development on the ground, they can't. Yakawa Regional Hospital, which was started under His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, what they have done is to come and rename things for themselves. MPP cannot show one single project that they have started in health and education in Upper West region now, almost 30 years, almost complete year.
Wow.
A lot of the outstanding projects to that they could have completed and at least, earned some Anna for they refused to do it.
Not even under Kufuor.
Not even under Kufuor. So they on the yebi. In terms of projects, even these schools and the trees, they did some in the region. I won't say that they didn't do anything, but in terms of especially when you got some 3 extra seats, what they've done in some of the areas, because they've gotten a minister who was Interior Minister Ambrose Derry, he did a lot of recruitment of young people from his constituency, especially into the security agency. So that's one of the ways in which they've tried to entrench. But on the whole, our people are very discerning people, and they know when somebody means them well and when someone is taking them for granted. UDS, Whose seed money started UDS in the northern region?
So Rawlings.
It was Rawlings. Yeah. And it started in the northern region, and it had satellite campuses, Upper West. Right now, the Upper West campus has become, they've made it a real university. Wow. If you see the impact of the siting of that university in the Upper West region, nobody would tell you that indeed foresight is very, very, it's significant. And this is what NDC has always been looking long-term and doing long-term interventions, not, face-saving measures. And vote-buying initiatives. The motive behind everything. And I've seen that MPP, their motive is always short-term benefits and gains. Always short-term.
Wow.
Never really, long term, even with their so-called conceptualization of the free senior high school. Right. See how they have implemented it. It was all because of the votes. Yeah. If you look at it, it was all because of the votes. So now they tell us that, the first-time voters who are beneficiaries, they are targeting them seriously. But the quality of education that is being affected, the quality of the food, the quality of the tuition, the funding of that thing, the bills they have left behind, all because of the next election. They are so inconsistent. Say, he says he's putting his presidency on the line. No, can say he's not thinking about the next election, but the future. Yeah. But look at what they've done now. Yeah. Speak to your friends who are teaching at the universities. Yeah. Let them tell you the problem we are having currently with Yebekanswa. Then they do propaganda. They say that we are saying that the children are not intelligent. We want to build children for life. We don't want to, give, education that is not, ask the lecturers who are teaching. They're facing major problems because how can a child go to school for 2 months, come and sit at home for 3 months? What is he learning?
Anya biano awofo no ntua sika bebrebe te se na no no 2024 abato we awofo no beda MPP ase omasem no no
media me ka kira awofo bia se NDC nka bebi ase omoba omobetwa free senior high school good yenye bia ntimi nye sada because the history of our party believes in education, the bedrock of education. Beyond Nkrumah, the NDC, PNDC, NDC administration is the period in which we saw the greatest transformation of our educational infrastructure.
That's right.
Because the infrastructure you can't admit the students. So when we speak about expanding infrastructure everywhere to make education accessible, because it has to be there, accessible. It has to be accessible, and sana affordability no cross abeka. Senya accessible, say infrastructure ni limited. Now the nkrofo crime situation na problem and now be create. In your quest to solve a problem, you create a bigger problem. We are looking again at the free senior high school to make it more effective and efficient and to decentralize, the systems that require decentralization. They centralized everything so that they can benefit from the procurement politics of it. Even with the food.
Wow.
Oka suppliers, they owe them over 6 billion Ghana cedis. 6 billion Ghana cedis. Bebre Minka. They have collapsed the teacher, the school teacher, system. They've collapsed the PTA system. Is completely collapsed. Even parents that want to support the school, they are not being allowed. Recently, TBB, Wesley Girls, you see, almost school, the food quality has reduced tremendously. Presec. They sent parents because they met the parents. This is the situation. Either you help your child, otherwise they will come, they will be hungry. Why is the government so intransigent, even in the face of parents willingly wanting to support, to help make a system efficient?
What's your answer? So, Ubisa, at the end of this, Wabaya Quincy Masadi.
Selfishness and greed.
Abaya also Buanquada.
Yes. Omu is selfish because Omunim say anything that looks like help would reduce their propaganda value of the free senior high school.
Wow. Because
so when you're free, parents teacher parents union yes say. And so in reality, that is, but they don't want you to label any part of the program as receiving support from other key stakeholders. Yeah. Tamale, CHAS, they are there. Conference of Heads of secondary schools. Yeah. They had a certain conference in the hotel with some of them. The lamentations that they were just told at that meeting that they should prepare to reopen by 30th October.
Gosh.
They were just told that, look, there's no calendar. They themselves as school administrators no longer understand the system. They were told to do whatever they would to reopen by 30th September. You would hear it. And that's those who were already in school would just continue into their year 2.
Wow.
There's a lot of confusion facing our education system. We need to sit down as stakeholders, and that's what JM has always been saying. How can he cancel? He will not cancel free senior high school. One of the biggest intervention is to ensure a dedicated funding source, like we have with National Health Insurance. If it's a levy, if it's whatever, we have a dedicated funding source for the free senior high school. So we would expand the infrastructure and ensure that our children have quality education. The textbooks will come on time. As we speak, they said a lot of them do not have the full complement of their textbooks. I know you know that. Yeah. And they're a big problem. So that's one of the major things, just by way of talking and coming back and wrapping up with Upper West.
Yes.
So Upper West for almost is agenda 11 over 11. There are 11 constituencies. What happened was that we lost the Langbusier constituency, the Nandom constituency, and the Sisala East constituency. And mostly due to infighting. And this is what I just want to say to our NDC people. A lot of the constituencies we lost in the northern region, the grounds we ceded to the New Patriotic Party was largely because of our own internal fights. In some cases, an outgoing MP having quarrels with the incoming parliamentary candidate and then works against the party in the region. That's very short-sightedness. And a lot of people have now seen. So, for example, in Lambusia, which we were present, you know Professor Titus Bayo.
That's right.
Professor Titus Bayo and the former MP for the area, who was part of the problem why NDC lost the seat, is back. They've reconciled. He's on the grounds campaigning with him. Wow. And yenim say that seat is coming back home. The same thing with the Nandom constituency. It's coming back home. The same with the Sisala East constituency. It's coming back home. And all the other seats that we retained, it's coming back. We are increasing the numbers because when you go to the ground, the energy, the field, look, people turn up for hours under scorching sun. They stand and wait. And I'm saying to our people that we must honor the resilience of these people. Because look, Prince,
but science enthusiasm real a bit done into votes because real. Look, I mean, you and I can testify. Say Edru campaign fanfare ne bankwa dia near Tishatawale Numne no ye beba.
Say in fact Shatawale Num
no we grade be hu
baby in fact call her. A lot of the performers are local artists who volunteer too. I'm saying that you energy, you can feel a positive energy and you can feel a negative energy. You can see a crowd that just comes out, say but the look on their faces, whether they are smiling, whether they are excited, they are animated, may read the mood of a crowd that way. Or they share videos, no. It is excitement, it is hope. They are actually in there. They are not upset. They are not angry that they have been waiting for hours under the sun. Me say DBI, a no bo onkrofo etete ho. Train throughout. And I make her say we must not, as leaders of the party, disappoint these people. Because the people, I can say people, no, government of the people, those are the real people. the people on the ground, the people that democracy and governance has not touched in any substantive way. Poverty levels now, when you are touring this country, is heartbreaking. Children without sandals or shoes, children who haven't bathed for 2 days. There's no water. In whole communities, no water, no light. I'll show you pictures of places we went at night. So that you can share ntadeɛ a ɔmo hyɛ ebi mu nhyɛ bi ntadeɛ fi atete ohia mu ohia democracy na yɛ ka sɛ yɛ practice no endru hɔ yɛ nso so these people are the ones who make you and I visible. They give us jobs because when they vote for your party, you get to be a minister, you get to be a DCE, you get to be a CEO. You get to be a party member who gets jobs to do. So you get to eat. You get to look nice. You wear nice things. You want to buy designer things. You cannot forget the people who made you.
That's right.
And I think that the NDC must go back to its roots. Because we truly were a party for the people. We must never disconnect ourselves from the reality of the mass of the people that make us who we are. That will be ingratitude on our part.
I mean, what's me a walking? Wabra was sending pictures. No, and the assembly His Excellency John Mahama, H. Pepe, or say, wa pro bono, and I'm for no matron, which was a baby na a quada, and
yes,
what show many notes here, or Mocasanibia, and money yam shino, because and no many be a ma NPP, or Muabe he, a yet Trimodium Mobomai, but a man for so you say. And then this Muslim bar, Muslim Tromo, wasn't he a Tromo say? The person would say, Clip 9 ready at John Mahama on MPP mistake. See a better boy, no, a brand walker assassin. Would he not any passion with which no Casa was say, yet to me, yes or more, because and your one term, any ever, yet your President Mahama.
So when we come, we are going to chop power and show them. It is our turn. We too, the things they have done, we too can do so. You see, the mistake the MPP has done is what is going to send them into opposition. There is no use fighting for political power if you are coming to repeat the same mistakes that the MPP government has done. We must do better than they have done. We must win the trust of Ghanaians. We're not coming into office for one term. We must make Ghanaians see that NDC is always a better government for them. And that will guarantee that we will stay in power for a long time. The Constitution allows me to do only one term. I'll come and do my best. And it is that best that will reset this country and create a foundation and a platform for us to hand over to the next generation of our party.
Okay, President John Dramani Mahama no wabra obora pro ewo Upper West ne ensemi bi ode tu gan o say enye one term me baba e one term there but was say ye nyuma ebe boa manfo no.
That is I totally agree with His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, and that is what should drive every member of NDC obia osi oye NDC nibiano must look to the future. Intina Meka said this party no is bigger than any individual. And if at this point in time nim say rescue mission no is at hand and the people of Ghana require the NDC to be in pole position to rescue this state, na ye ma in fighting ne personal differences to cost us the volumes that we would have received. No, nature say you are not a comrade as you say, because this party has even survived its founder. Where is Jerry John Rawlings today? And tieno nipa yen a futo en sakra yen. Ntin social so aya wom 8 years of opposition so social so en sakra. to leave behind your personal differences. And I'm saying this directly to those areas that still have spots of little conflict. Greater Accra is one, unfortunately. Greater Accra, we must win. And to the leaders of Greater Accra, me pamucho bebre, put your ego aside, because the tax ahead no, are huge. We require a united front.
And it's as if say pressure be that NDC, so not pressure as in say chinchira munye bibio. As a Ghana for the many and you move in baby, do you feel it?
Baby, ye pamucho, moon protect your ballot no. Moon protect your ballot, baby, I'll be cry, moon protect your ballot no. Change dear eba, yeri system, so moon shine your eyes. These are rural women, rural young people telling us this. And they no more Prince. And they no more
who na mo kasasana.
Me they be omu crofoni subain. And ye but omu say MPP for moon ni subain. Omu say MPP for a party a me destroy country for their selfish interests. And for omu cry and no meba no na me kan ye history kakra. Me kind the history of UGCC because na me person menti ase MPP subaya omo day din na saying eyo mu suban da na say bibi na asesa me dey call back to the history of UGCC and I'm say no wow sometimes nyame ochre and science ni nyina yen na yen bie ye ni enhu Adenti na UGCC founders na including Ekufuado ne uncle ne papa ne wofa ne owum nyina. Why did they adenti na no more such a big problem against Nkrumah who wanted independence now? Because sankanya omu no mu a lead charge na obia amfata say only the charge no. Okay. Oti ase.
No pese yo monkwa.
Omu motive ni saying imagine say anka UGCC no mu di Ghana call independence. Imagine say anka UGCC no omu suban na omu ade through history up till now no anka yomu na omu ye first government. Anka by now ye nyina yewu. Imagine, because they wanted the government for themselves. Listen to the things they say that we must hold the commanding. Bibia omuka say for Ghana no, remove Ghana and put them in. That was the real motive. That we must hold the commanding heights of the Ghanaian economy. This is something they attribute a lot to Dankwa, who is one of their pillars.
And apparently
said Ghanaians must be at the commanding height of the say economy. Now omu patch say they be omu na omu was say omu at the commanding heights of the Ghanaian economy.
And I was just going to say that phrase you buy a Japadie and woman ma.
And yeah, no. How many years? And because the signs are always there.
Wow.
We don't see. Imagine if they had been the first leaders of this country. No musi omunim bebre NLC ebaye and then a free fawo hu na busia esanko baye and Ekufuado papa ebeye ceremonial president 3 years e dey no mutimi ye nkrofo no baye no from that school no one say omu CIA agents the elements of UGCC are the ones that orchestrated the first school.
That's right.
That halted Ghana's development. Me pamucho yensua history na yen hu nkrofo suban omu baye no omu first order of business was privatization. And to say ne ye can state capture more you shocked. It is taking leaves from their history and from their mentality.
And Kofonso baye state capture
state capture
Ghana Telecom to Vodafone.
Share omu ba no this obehu omu foot soldiers it was social media NDC PNDC you had the longest regime. Thank you.
Yeah.
Anka ye fum sena UGCC ne omu antecedents na NPP ye fum state assets sena mu fum ye na in the so-called how many years is it 8 years plus 7 years no of PNDC NDC na anka den na mu beba beto me pamucho anka den na mu beba beto ye fum nyama greedily as we have seen today because almost say private sector private family private friends Into real family and friends, no. This is what they're Ghana. Let us wake up. The MPP has never meant Ghana well. They have only meant themselves well. Because here, who share the character of any NDC? Look, there were MPP businesses that thrived and survived PNDC, NDC regimes. There was always this code of brotherhood. I have witnessed it personally. I started this advocacy from a very personal experience of the difference in character between the MPP people and the NDC people. And I'm saying that NDC leaders no because when NDC wins power, they are more human. So MPP were done for obetimi ba ho minisika obema wasika. I saw MPP people come to my husband left and right when they were in opposition, looking for fuel, looking for food, begging, oh, my certificate be daha bomodi mami na yenye. Namodi amoba. You don't want to only amputate, you want to capitate your opponent's heads. If they were capitating heads long before you came, there would have been nothing for you to come and build upon. Because you see, these same MPP people tell us that they have always been business people. Under whose government were you and business people who thrived? Just look at it. How many years did your forebears ever rule this country? So you have always been business people. Means you have been business people under regimes and administrations that were not your regime, that were not your administration. If they were equally as short-sighted as you were and wicked as you were, and kasa mube collapsing mu businesses ni
fantastic.
Are all MPP business people telling me that they started their businesses in 2000 when Kufuor came? That there's no business beyond, before 2000? Is that what they are telling us? That is the difference in character of the New Patriotic Party that believes in excessive profiteering and private sector development at the expense of the Ghanaian.
And what the economy in some number. With the first governor of the Bank of Ghana, Dr. Maxwell Opoku Afrey, or say, Mummy pension share bia, a bit mamma ye jai busia bobbe brebeno, na busia bobbe brebeno, and on a bomb name. Yɛmfo yɛ ni nkyerɛ ɛhyehyɛ a ɛbɛboa ma business segina na amafo anya the culture of saving.
Yes.
This is the deputy governor of the Bank of Ghana. And I me bisa say and afesu na me ka kyerɛ tie for ni arefo say ada na dada yi afeni yɛ de asɛm we ɛba betuga. Banks be egu yɛ no say and omo supervision egu yɛ.
Yep.
So
because
why now?
Without a savings culture, a country can never grow.
Which is a fact.
Maybe international development course. Almost say it always starts with savings.
Yeah.
Savings never mobilize capital. Capital no na ebe investment.
That's right.
Investment no na ebe increase productivity and create more businesses. And the cycle will now increase and grow.
Yeah.
Because a country like ours, your problems ye bebre, which means that business opportunities ne also. Yendru baby, how come Maslow hierarchy of needs? Yendru baby, take off no yentimin take you off. From 67 years on since independence, yentimin take you off. Nso so moba ede na mobe ye mobe eroding for savings. Almost savings.
Yeah.
So in one fell swoop, you have eroded a generation of savers who have now lost trust. JM can say they've sent us back 10 years. Let me see, they be JM cry or you're charitable because look, a former chief justice, a former chancellor of a vice chancellor of the University of Ghana, or see or no, so be trusty say your financial system no over his dead body.
Wow,
this is a learned person who has seen baby the trust, how to build back trust in our financial system. It's going to take us a lot of time to build back trust. Into the JMC, we as NDC must not look to repeat some of these mistakes.
My point is say when you find omo wa baimu, so mo kasa say ya.
Double standards no. That's the same character and conduct Baumia is putting up, removing himself from the problem and also wanting to appear say or no you're a victim.
Yeah.
Or was solution now on to being implemented.
Yeah.
But when it saves him right now on Wateki he takes what you call it, the glory for the things that have worked and tries to dissociate himself for the things that have not worked. That is the double standards of this administration that we have seen from all quarters. And sometimes I really wonder, is this the Ghana we want to build for our children, where we teach our children that some people are special, some people cannot be questioned, some people cannot be criticized? Our leaders and our elders, you are breaking the spirit of the Ghanaian youth. And I'm saying that much will be the shame if the so-called ethical, moral voices of our society remain this quiet. Because in the nearest future, if they decide to finally find their balls, I've made a post on Facebook, I would wonder where their real angst was. Where their angst was. Was it tribal? Otherwise, what was it? Because you spoke so much against and criticized, and rightly so. Because I've always said that we shouldn't expect voluntary unselfishness, like Edmund Burke said, from the wielders of power. Because power has an allure. It can corrupt. And a vigilance. A vigilance that will always keep, governments on its toes. As it should be. Because sometimes, and I wouldn't, NDC had everything perfect, but the same vigilance of these CSOs and so-called moral voices led to a lot of decisions that protected Ghana.
But what about their challenges? I mean, in the case of labor unions here, Nancy, court strike, the fear of the unknown, is
that how timorous our souls have become? As the Black Star of Africa, the first country in sub-Saharan Africa to gain independence, the people whose antecedents and forebears fought with their lives to liberate not only Ghana but our continent. Do we not know from what stock we come from as a people? That we should let tyrants and tyranny cower us into submission? Where are our values? So it is deeper than the fear. It is not fear. I don't think it's fear, because there's strength in numbers. So if we can't organize around numbers, which has a protective value, if entire labor union went on strike, what would they do? Say they won't pay them. Then it means they want trouble. That is why we are always saying mobilize around numbers. Because we, the people, will always be more than the few that we elect into power.
That's right.
Because we, the people, are the ones with the power. The power we vest in them to govern that our lives will be better. We, the people, have the power to eject them from office. Now they are demigods. Are they gods? They are not gods. They may but struggle and put us in pain. But that pain is temporary. Whatever they are doing to this Stop the Galamsey protesters is evil. Whatever they are continuing to do for Oliver Vamawo, the people who like to quote Ri Akoto and 7 others, the people who were at the forefront of fighting Nkrumah because he promulgated a PDA, a Preventive Detention Act, to forestall their workings against his life. Those people who attempted to kill Nkrumah several times, these elements, very destructive elements, history can never be kind to them. That is why we are seeing what we are seeing today. And this history will not be kind to their children, as it hasn't been kind to their forebears. They will struggle forever to try to wash their face and wash their names. It will not hold, because the reality of their doings will always be glaring, and history will capture those realities for what they are. You try to kill someone, he ensures he does something to prevent you from killing him. And then he becomes the evil person. And today, somebody who is protesting for the citizens is now pronounced by the court as a troublemaker who deserves to be held in detention. All right-meaning lawyers have spoken out against such high-handedness. I was here in a mid-Koti Afro Barometer report. I'm say Nane Ekufuado has shown increasing high-handedness against the media. He has eroded the confidence and trust in accountability institutions, which are they? The security agencies, the judiciary. And I've told you also here, UNESCO has these reports. And in one of such reports, it says, especially impunity against media grows in a situation where the judiciary fail to act or act in a biased manner. Because impunity must end. And it is only the implementation of a law that will show that this country will not accept this behavior. So if the courts are the ones rather increasing the perceptions of impunity,
and
wow. You see, a grace of God and the generality of Ghanaian quiescence that is keeping this country together. And I'm yabotare. Sometimes too much abotare. And I make culture say, look, say implosion beba, it will happen around the peripheries where there's no sunlight. You don't know what is happening. In our border towns. We don't know what is happening in our border towns. Peter Lancheni, recently when we were in the north, in his constituency, that some people came into the constituency and they were beating people up. I'm saying that there are funny things happening in the hinterlands. If there will be an implosion, in the city, sitting pretty, thinking all is well, when fire burns around and circles us, that's when we'll know that we should have spoken out a bit earlier.
Let me give you an example. In the city, ABC, just and Raya, Wanima, walk Okoso, MPP NDC. And I'm told, say, today, Honorable Judge Abekache say, na MPP NDC for no motiboto. Obodi no monka e dom na no mo ye work no. Obodi moto ne nam e create awareness. Who MPP for no mo gina.
Yes. Say on videos.
Then all of a sudden
obi a gun
ato.
Obi a gun. And that person is known. So we must center the issue where it is. Why are MPP people walking around with guns?
But check this.
Are they trying
police in Kase? Police no.
Yes.
A statement on about say, MPP for NDC for. I'm saying this based on what you just said.
Yes.
So we must center
the issue. Me patrol those people with the gunshots on their heels and their back. Are they MPP people? Will an NDC person remove a gun and shoot his fellow NDC person? Please, Ghanaians, let us rise up to the times. We are living in unprecedented times where it looks as if our leaders are leading this country down a very slippery rope to chaos. We have the power within us as a people to reject this notion. We have come so far. 67 years after independence, multiple democratic elections, free transfer of power, that these actions should not be allowed to happen. And the new patriotic party, Ayawaso West Wogon, Techiman, and Asawase, Ejurawa, Nina, MPP. Yet you see, they have perfected the art of branding the NDC and saying that, we are the ones who say we are from a revolutionary past. We're not the one throwing bombs to Nkrumah. We're not the one who gave Ghana a template for military interventions. In fact, the NDC, even before, let me start with the PNDC, and then they may see, let us reflect. Let's reflect a bit. PNDC, Mintna and Kase, there weren't excesses in the military takeover, as has been all military takeovers. There were sad excesses. But I'm saying that this same PNDC has been the most stabilizing force in Ghana's history. After the multiplicity of coup d'etats, after the last PNDC coup d'etat, please, have we plunged into another coup d'etat?
Debbie.
PNDC transitioned this Ghana into a democratic one, the Fourth Republic. PNDC under Jerry John Rawlings led a peaceful transfer of power in 2000 after the 2000 elections to Kufuor, which has sustained 32 years on. Someone to me, Mamun saying MPP and its antecedents, they should tell us what their what do you call it? What their legacy for this country has been. Beyond this that I've, and let's come to election matters. The MPP says that it was advocacies that forced Jerry Rawlings to transition, that it is continuous advocacy. Nane Akufo-Addo mepamucho advocacy bang and a CSOs anye that he should not appoint those two people, non-MPP people, to the Electoral Commission. What advocacies haven't happened around Galamsey? Nane Akufo-Addo has been typical yentio bia to hell with you. I'm saying this to point out that if the PNDC was so bent on holding on to power at the expense of the peace of this country, they would have done that. But because they were not power drunk, it is the same PNDC you criticize who moved us from an era of opaque ballot boxes to transparent ballot boxes, who gave us the former EC boss, what's his name? Afarijan.
Yes.
Very long-serving person of integrity. Do you think if we have tried to exert the levels of influence the MPP today tries to exert on the EC, Afarijan would have lasted for the number of years that he lasted for? So those reforms under NDC that we brought to the Electoral Commission, was that not a responsive government who listens to call, and when there's merit, they act? So we ask you, act because there is merit in the cause. You say, who are you? Please see these characters clearly and distinctly for who they are and what they have done. Obia Intiminka Oka NDC, look at the reforms. 1992 Constitution, the most stabilizing constitution. If anything will happen to this our democracy, it will be under Nane Akufo-Addo. It will be under his watch. As independent actors have said, it will be under his watch. Kweku Azar, you've been reading his posts. H. Kwesi Prempeh, you've been reading their posts. Please don't listen to NDC because you say it is politics. The individuals who have consistently been critical of our democratic governance and process, and listen to the verdict they have about the MPP today. It's okay to love your political party, but it's not okay to love your political party over and above yourself or your future or the future of your children or the future of your country. If you do that, excuse me to say, then you are a fool. Excuse me to say. Excuse me. Sebi, Mr. Mika. Se udo obi more than one kasa. O Bible cracker say, love your neighbor as yourself. Never more than yourself.
Said you see don
yonko sa. Nti se si anu ya bedru sa say. Obi antimi nka President Akufo-Addo ndin ba omi asem. Obi antimi nka MPP leaders ni omu failings asem. O show omu one on one na they lament to you. Painfully. Omu ntimi nka. Baby aye dru no. We must take the bull by the horn and let the president and his vice know say baby omu de enkono enye.
Okay. Fasima ba ku ye we wabra ye den komo no eba na wie ye.
Oh, ye time wie.
So anu no. Sima ba ku say ye to aba ma NDC and the President Mahama. Maka but my ye hunu edie pa na mo ba be ya within these 4 years of John Mahama no Ghana ni bedane.
Number 1, rescue. Number 1, John Mahama ebe stop bleeding. No, when we come, we are rescuing this nation because baby ayekodru no, we have to stop, look and listen. You know, men that's a stop, look and listen.
Yeah.
Stop them in their tracks because they are on a very destructive path.
That's right.
Stop them in their tracks. When we stop them, we will now have to do a reset. Before the reset, we will do an audit of their administration. What went wrong? Who did what's wrong? Where are the proceeds of alleged wrongdoings? How do we recover? Plug the holes, and contracts that are not serving the country well. Operation Oral should start within the first 14 days.
That's right.
As His Excellency has announced. First 14 days, his cabinet is in place. We are starting the audit process. After the now started reset process. Number one, it's about the economy. It's about jobs. Everywhere we go, it's about the economy. It's about jobs. What are we doing about the economy? At least with the nuisance taxes, immediately we are removing them. The COVID levy, all the nuisance, the set of nuisance taxes, so that we can give the youth also some, space. And then we are now looking at our macroeconomic policy. What are we going to do about the inflation? What are we going to do about the borrowing? John Mahama Waka say, how can a country who says that we are proud people who are self-sufficient, we sit on money, go now and be proud that, where we have done with the DDP, we can now go back and borrow. You, who started by saying that we don't have to borrow, is now proud that you have brought us to a place where we're closed out of the international capital market, and today are telling us, we can now go and borrow.
Wow.
You want to borrow this country into the abyss, so you can bury us in that 58 million hole that you have dug for a cathedral, a broken promise to God, a government that can break its own promise to God. What a wow. What a wow. But at the center of the next NDC administration is leadership by example. His Excellency has shown us that he's going to lead by example. He's going to demand the highest level of proper conduct from his appointees. And all appointees must listen. We will not tolerate any corruption. He will not tolerate any excessive profligate expenses. He will not tolerate arrogance to the people. He will not tolerate inefficiencies and lack of productivity, because he's going to have a very slim government, not more than 60. So everybody is going to get to work, so we can deliver the jobs we have promised the people. Jobs for young people, jobs for women, jobs for elderly people, and the social protection policies we want to grant our elderly and our children, even women as well.
Wow.
So that is very telling. A leader who says he's going to lead by example. And because he has done it before, we can trust that he will do it again. Because under his watch, he was able to hold people accountable.
Yes.
And it is better for a leader who holds his people accountable than one that's always clearing his people and writing Dear Cecilia letters to them, like His Excellency John Nana Akufo-Addo has done. So we don't want that. And let me also quickly add that across the country, especially in our northern parts, there is a wind of change. This is where I'm been to. In the northern region, we seeded 9 seats, so it is 9-9 split in the middle for NPP and NDC. I'm telling you, in the Upper West region, all our 11 MPs are accomplished professionals. Some are medical doctors, some are book doctors, some are lecturers, some are former superintendents. Human capital is at the core of the next NDC administration. A far departure from the propaganda that always wanted you to believe that the NDC is not a party of intellectuals. Prince, Oba Northern Region, Mekoho, all the 9 orphan constituencies are being contested by young people.
Wow.
Below 35 years and about 45.
I've been before.
And they are medical doctors like Dr. Harlick.
Yes.
There are professors who are teaching in UDS. There are technocrats who are in NGO field. So I'm telling people, and I'm telling everyone who is listening to us Ghanaians, do not buy the propaganda. NDC has such a great human capital coming into the next administration that we are going to right the wrongs of this NPP administration and their mismanagement and the poverty that they have brought. One last thing. Everywhere we have gone.
That's right.
the women are in the majority of the people who turn up prince.
Mbano.
Wow. Everywhere we have gone, in the villages, I gave you some of the pictures.
Yes.
In the night, they turn up with their children on their back to listen, and they speak up. Prince, they tell us their problems. They don't have water, they don't have light, snake bites. They are farmers. The discriminatory practices of the NPP knows no bounds. Even with food security, they take the implements, the fertilizers to a DCE's home, and he decides who to give this support to. And I ask, does hunger know political power? Colors? Hunger does not know political colors. Me pamucho. A come dua ukoto idea wo kroma nipa krono embisao say o ye MPP ni ana say o ye NDC ni. So in terms of food and agriculture, there should be no discrimination in the allocation of resources. In Wa and the Sisala areas can feed the entire country grains.
Very true.
But they're even having these discriminatory practices against local farmers. We went to Wale and visited communities in Wale. Wale is the constituency of Baumia. The farmers. How can a farmer be hungry? Just think about it. Wow. To me, who said they eat once a day. The food they eat. It's just I just can't wrap my head around it. Yeah. Farming communities are the most poorest communities in Ghana. Wow. How about Prince? Why? Because it's never enough. They're struggling. These are not lazy people. They work too hard. Under the scorching sun, it's too painful to see. Their children are not in school. Their children, you see them, they are not in school. Yeah. They are hungry. You can see them. They are hungry. They are hungry. We sit in the cities and fight and talk nonsense and are so arrogant and are unwilling to solve simple problems. It's too wicked. And this democracy, if this is how we are going to do it, is not sustainable. Because eventually when people are too hungry, they will become angry. Yeah. And all the young people are coming into the cities. Yeah. Look, I see all these children and I just see a future problem. Yeah. Because if they are not in school and they grow to become young people, they can't stay in the community. There's nothing to go around. Very true. Either we are managing our populations or we are expanding opportunities to the hinterlands. If there will be implosion, it will come from there. These children, when they become teenagers, would have to move. They will come to the cities. Your high walls will not save you because you can't stay in your home 24 hours. The crime rates would go through no fault of theirs. Yeah. These people could become bagbin. Yeah. I'm saying that all of these northern MPs, if you hear their stories, they came from poverty, but for education and opportunity. They went to local schools without adequate resources. Sheer hard work and grit. They made something of themselves. And I'm saying that there are thousands of Shamimes in villages in Wa. Thousands. More than me. Thousands of Bagbings, thousands of Ekufuados who were born with silver spoons in their mouth. They tell us that their fathers gave them proper education. Did we choose not to have education? Is it not the historical discrimination that made portions of this country so underdeveloped that you can so arrogantly, you who have had it easy in life, you sit in a room with people who have had to bend their backs to make themselves. Speak to Professor Titus Bayo. Let him tell you his story. He's a professor now teaching rich people's children. Please, if we don't use this democracy to redistribute the gains of development equitably, we will not have a country.
Very well. Shamima, medo ase. Okasa kra nisio base ya. Okasa fa ohia ene kuhia ehia say ye betimi aboy homode na yeyi amanfo ade free tebia mu na ye dis ye no say as surprise be ewura ha o. Hey. Surprise kase pa. We no minim And that's when your birthday. And I know your birthday.
And birthday, oh.
And your birthday, and
your birthday.
And birthday.
And your birthday.
And why birthday?
Why?
And why?
Why?
I like the scenario. Oh, whoa.
Our Zongo Caucus coordinate national chair, the chair of the National Zongo Directorate.
I had no reference on what team.
Oba.
The producer.
And on no dia brem wana.
Debbie.
Obi
na surprise no. Mate say Zionite.
Oba.
No when he ono ana dia ba no say
but that's so nice.
Yeah, celebrate, you know.
Alaji happy birthday. Let's sing to him. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, Alhaji. Happy birthday to you.
Oh,
what a beautiful cake. Moody birthday na mana nkasa.
Yedi Alaji birthday.
From where? From where? Zionite. Okay. Zionite, thank you for celebrating Alaji Sanari's birthday with the workers of XYZ and Power FM. Yeah.
This is a beautiful surprise.
It's a beautiful surprise.
And indeed,
you know, purity, victory. No, and one ever no. And your breakfast.
Guys.
Oh, loud. Yeah. And then the move.
Ekriafona ya die.
Omo ya die.
Ekriafona be any video.
Any bini. Omunye bindi.
Anyway,
all
I was had the mubesi. Ajimani power near the power mid morning. Abraham Shami Mame Dase. So it's at least there were people who use your kakra.
Very sad. And I think that once in a while we should all go to the villages.
Absolutely.
We should visit the villages.
Reality
and
will
see
hit
the
us.
reality.
Yeah.
Tiaba, Yakasa. Let's be humble.
Absolutely.
Grace has found many of
Grace
us.
Let's
be humble.
Yeah.
It's not because we are special. Grace.
Absolutely.
Grace.
Absolutely. I was here, Beshia. Ochanya Meyadwa. Bye bye.